Sup, nerds?
Really broke the tension.
Welcome to Nerd Immersion. We are here to play some D&D. I'm Celine. I'm going to be your dungeon master. With me, as always, are Ted and Sean. Say what's up, nerds.
What's up, nerds?
Joining us for the very first time is Raphael over here.
What's going on?
Golf clappies.
Golf clap. Okay.
Oh, what's nice is the way the thing, you did the right direction, so on the screen you
It
presented to Ralph. Yeah, that was nice.
Love when shit works out. Okay, so the game we are about to play is a homebrewed fantasy ancient Greek world. If you are here for ancient Greek history or anything like that, you can get right out, because
You get out of here.
that's not gonna happen.
You get out
It's
of
gonna be very loosey-goosey, but it'll be fun. It's gonna be a good time.
Well, yeah.
Streaming!
Yeah! Streaming live. Okay. Does anybody have anything they want to say? Ted, anything you want to...
First of all, thank you to everybody who followed the clickbaity video to this video.
Pew, 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 pew.
I did see, I've been switching over from Streamlabs because they're awful to Stream Elements, who are much better, but they don't have as much stuff. So you may see there are some chat commands that exist. The music one happens to work. I saw people asking about the music. It's awesome. It's also royalty-free music, so you guys can use that in your own streams. And Ben Briggs is an awesome dude.
Nice guy.
It was super nice, yeah. So anyway, that's that. So Celine, were you gonna jump right into like story? I just want to make sure because we had this conversation about playtest, so I figured we would level set that for the internet.
Oh.
Before you dive into, unless you were gonna.
No, yeah. Well, we could dive. We could.
Okay, so I'll
lay out the groundwork of what we're doing here.
So a lot of you had heard and had seen, and we talked about playtest, and I said, it sucks that every time I go to review a playtest thing and they open up a survey, I never have any information. They're like, have you playtested this? And I'm like, no, but here's my opinions, which ultimately probably isn't what they are looking for when they ask for playtest information. Granted, they only give us 3 weeks to do it, so whatever. But we are going to be playing. You'll see... Unfortunately, the downside of some of this is D&D Beyond doesn't work, so I am going old school here with paper because I'm playing the playtest rogue, which is also the thief rogue. So I'm going to be trying that out. Sean's going to be trying out playtest ranger, but with a subclass that's not the hunter ranger. So,
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that.
So that will be something different, and then Raphael's just doing a fighter. So we're doing something. So we got old school, new school mix, which according to the team is supposed to work. You should be able to mix and match different aspects.
Mm-hmm.
It is playtest. It's a snapshot in time, but we're going to try it and we're going to see. Right? So there are some playtest rules and things. We were just talking about the new versions of Inspiration. We're going to try that out, see what works, and that way we can actually provide legitimate feedback when the survey goes live. So if you're like, that doesn't make sense, that's not how 5e works, it's because you're right. This is a playtest version. Like, the Thief Rogue can't do that. Well, maybe now they can.
There you can. You ever think of that?
So, yeah, take a look at the... we're also combining the character origins, the feats and things, the character origins. I'm playing the human from the character origins things with the expert classes UA. So if you're familiar with both of those, I have like 10 hours worth of content for you to go watch all about it if you're curious, but wait till after this is done.
Please.
So that'll explain...
Thanks for the sub, G.
Yeah, so that's explaining some of that stuff. So, anyway, I hope that explains enough about what's going on, and I'll kick it back to you. So.
Okay.
Slagathor, paint me a word picture.
All right. Are we all ready? Here we go. Let's begin. Okay, so our story begins by if this was like a movie and there was like I'm gonna do a visual picture for you first.
Sure, yeah.
So like in the opening movie where it's like the camera's going across the sky and it's real cinematic, and then it dives down beneath the ground and we go past the layers of earth and through over the river Styx, through the gates of Hades, and we continue even past that through the underworld realms of the gods into a tiny pocket dimension that no one really knows where the entrance is or isn't. And when you enter, the walls of stone disappear, and before you there is an ever-expanding cosmos. And sitting in the center of such are three sisters, stacked. The top.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Are they wearing a trench coat and pretending to be one big sister?
No. They
Thank
are
you.
each their own thing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So on the top layer, you see a young, fair, kind of like creepy, but in an ethereal beauty kind of way.
Like Tilda Swinton?
Yeah, like Tilda Swinton.
Cool.
Whose eyes shine silver, and surrounding her are thousands of hands that are all nimbly fingered, pulling and reaching into the ether and pulling all these little like wisps of starlight, and she spins them into thread. As they go past and are spun through thread, they drop down to the next sister's layer. And there is a middle-aged woman, some lines on her face, but still in the prime of her power. Her eyes shine golden.
Like Michelle Pfeiffer.
Perfect! Oh my god, you're nailing.
I'm casting the shit
casting
out of
the
this game.
shit out of this game.
So well.
And her hands reach into the basket of thread and weaves thousands upon thousands of tapestry. Again, multiple hands going simultaneously. And as the tapestries wind to an end and start to drop off into the ether, there below is the third sister, an old crone with a big, nasty-looking pair of shears that cut the threads and let them vanish off into the ether. The top sister...
Wait, you're just giving me crone? How am I supposed to cast with just crone? Give me some details.
Her eyes are black. And
Kathy
she
Bates.
is old. What'd you say?
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates!
Kathy Bates.
There she is.
Okay, thank you.
There she is.
Yeah, no problem. I would have said
Um,
Angela Lansbury, but
Ooh, too soon,
I
dude.
know.
Oh.
all right.
I know. That's rough.
It's rough. And there sit the Fates, weaving the ever ongoing tapestry of life. And as the top sister grabs thread and pulls it in and starts to spin it out, it turns a deep green. So deep that it starts to almost look black. And as that thread starts to take shape from the ether out in the world, we follow it to a young maiden who has just been released from her time as the Oracle of Delphi. Not sure what to do with her life after having had such an important role in the community. She begins to help the pilgrims that have come to this place, but who are too old or too sickly to return home. They've come here for one last offering to a god in hopes of getting some relief. So she establishes a clinic. It's just a simple canvas tent outside of the temple where the oracles reside. And she begins her work aiding, feeding, taking care of, comforting these souls that are ready on the brink to go into the underworld. And through her compassion and care, she gains the attention of Charon, the ferryman. And he courts her, and eventually they develop a love, and that love gives birth to a small babe named Zaxos. We flash forward ahead to Zaxos as a 4-year-old kid, running around helping his mom. At this point, Sean, describe to us 4-year-old Zaxos.
Zaxos is surprisingly pale for someone who grew up on like the Greek Isles. He is running around in like a modest tunic. Like you could tell that the clothes on his back, they're not well-made. Or sorry, it's not that they're not well. They're not new. They're not fancy, but they're quality and they're well taken care of. And he's got a mop of curly, dark brown hair and like deep brown, almost black eyes. And he's usually found either like walking around by himself in the woods by the home he shares with his mom, or helping her with her work. Trying to just, he's not one of those like kids that run around and try to make everyone feel better with like jokes and stuff. He's more of a quiet kid who likes to like just like sit and read some scrolls or whittle or something, just quietly spending time with these elderly people so they're not alone towards the end.
And on this particular day, as you're scamping about, your mom is doing her works and accidentally bumps into a table, and a big urn of oils and healing salves gets knocked off. And you, in your desire to kind of like help and aid, start to rush over, and in that moment you transport through the earth and through mist and pop up just in time to catch the urn before it smashes.
Okay.
As a 4-year-old kid, you just experience, and your mom is there like,
Okay, so here's the thing. I've never tried to do my voice.
As a kid?
As a kid, I've always practiced him kind of deep. So who knows what's about to happen. Well, Mum, that was kind of surprising, don't you think? Here is your jar.
Thanks. Okay. I think we should talk about your dad.
I have questions about my father at this moment because I just traveled through the earth and then you brought up Dad.
Yeah. So I know we haven't really talked about him.
Yeah, he's conspicuously absent is the words I would use.
And so progresses the awkward conversation of learning your deity heritage.
Oh, my dad's a god. Well, like, kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He's a god, but like he's one of the more like low key ones, which is perfectly fine with me. Surprise.
All right.
So you might be experiencing some changes.
I was reading about these in a scroll, and it said I was going to get fuzzy on some bits, but it didn't say anything.
Different kind of changes.
About,
you got a few years before that one, honey.
Is there a new book that I should be reading about my...
And so we fast forward to only a year or two later, and his mom, Zaxos' mom, is screaming in pain as she gives birth to a second son who comes out and is the complete opposite of Zaxos. Whereas Zaxos is pale and dark and quiet, this child that comes in the world is strong and healthy and is noisy and has golden hair and like just comes out ready to take the world. Flash forward again, and we find about probably a 10-year-old Zaxos and a 9-year-old Xanthos. Right? That was the name? Yes, nailed it. Okay. Xanthos, who has grown up and who at this point has also learned that he is a demigod as well. This time from Asclepius, the god of medicine and healing, who their mom also caught the attention of through her care of the sick. So you have these two brothers, total opposites, playing together, growing up in a loving home, but have clearly different interests. Flash forward again once more, and now we have a young adult Zaxos, mid-20s. His brother who is big and strong and has been out in the world adventuring and making a name for himself and bringing honor to his deity father. comes rushing up to Zaxos in his forest home. Brother, there's a group.
Oh, hello.
Hi, it's been a while.
Santos. I
Um,
haven't seen you in years. Would you like to have a cup of tea, mate?
that would
Oh, bruv, this is lovely.
That would be great.
Yeah, have a seat. I think I got a way to light a candle around here somewhere. Okay. Okay, so I'm sorry. I interrupted. What were you saying?
I know adventuring's not really your thing.
Oh no, it's
And
a
you
quiet
don't
life for me.
Really like to go out into the world.
Not much. People are rude sometimes.
But this once I'm going to ask for your help.
Oh.
There's a hero in Argos that's putting together a crew, an adventuring crew for a sea voyage.
Okay.
And you, being the son of the ferryman,
Well, yeah.
are real good at boats, man. You're real good at ships.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
So I was hoping you would come with me on this adventure.
Okay. Wow. This is a lot because, you've never really asked me for anything before. You usually just kind of go get the things you like. So,
It would mean a lot to me.
I can't say no to you, bruv. So yeah, I'll come if you think I could help.
And so we flash to the crew of the Argo, sailing and going on adventures. And while the A-team heroes and big name demigods go out into the world and capture the Golden Fleece and do all their big heroic adventures, while each time they go out, there is Zaxos watching the ship.
It's actually what I like, so that's not bad.
And on this particular voyage, and on this particular day, you have brought the A-team onto the shores of whatever islands you guys are adventuring next.
You lose track after a while.
And it is your job to watch the lifeboat right now.
Yeah.
And as you're sitting there, you see another group of people a little bit on the cliffs above. And what you see is a group of guys that don't look particularly kind or nice, and who are dragging behind them almost a caravan of cages filled with various animals and babies.
Mm-hmm.
And
wait, human babies or
Maybe.
animal babies?
a little bit of both, little column A, little column B.
Okay, wow. This
They're not a good group of
they're bad
dudes.
people.
Bad
Okay,
people.
got it.
And you notice and hear the cries, particularly of a young gorilla. What's a gorilla baby called? Cub? It's not a cub, right? Cat?
Remember.
Oh, because you changed it.
It's a
Time out. Cut that. We're doing playtest stuff, and it's throwing me.
Oh, playtest.
So instead, he
Chimera,
sees
chimera,
what
chimera.
is. I know it's a Nemean lion cup.
I was just trying to help.
I know. I'm sorry. Thank you.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so scratch that. Cut that. The thing that catches your eye is the roars and whimpers of a very sickly baby Nemean lion.
Oh no! I take out my bow and arrow and I shoot those bad men in the face.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say you do because they don't know you're there. You're able to pick them off.
Love that.
But
That's fucked up. I don't like those people.
unfortunately, though, by the time you get up to the cages and you've let most of them free, by the time you get to the Nemean lion cub, his life is fading. As someone with a connection to the underworld, you can feel that. So you pick it up and swallow it and take it back with you and try to take care and give it as much comfort as it can in its last bit of life. And while you sit there and wait for the... Sorry, I got distracted. And while you sit there and wait for the crew to come back for you to finish your job and go back to the ship, the cub dies in your arms. Real sad.
That's real sad.
I
shed a lot of tears.
And through all of your tears, you feel the earth itself and the ground and the plants and the trees and the life of the wild kind of over the cliffs and down towards where you are in your ship, and kind of tornadoes around you, and the cub sort of like deflates. Very Binks Hocus Pocus. Binks Hocus Pocus, imagine that.
Yep,
deflates. And as that kind of breath of wild comes back, you hear a small and it comes back, but the colors change. So instead of having the golden lion colored fur and lighter hair and all the different tones, they start to change to blacks and grays and dark colors. And as it comes to life, you can't feel the warmth of lifeblood in it.
Okay.
It is alive, but it doesn't feel or have any clear cut the usual signs. Like you can't feel a breath on your hand. It seems to breathe, but not out of necessity. And yeah, you have an undead, presumably Nemean lion cub.
So Zaxos goes through a lot of different different feelings in that as the colors start, like there's the little gasp and he's filled with like hope and joy, and then the colors start to change, and that actually makes him a little happier too because they look more like each other now. And then as he starts noticing these signs of death, the smile fades a little bit, but not all the way. He still has a little bit of a smile. And as he holds him up and like Zaxos is going to bring this cub up to his chest, give him some ear scritches, and just like very quietly to himself say like, "Thanks, Dad." And then he's going to name his little cub Oberon.
Perfect. Fast forward again, a few more, maybe a few months later, and another expedition has gone out, but this time when the crew returns, there's someone missing, and you don't see your brother return this time.
Oh. Okay.
As the sea voyage kind of ends, everybody gives you their sympathies. You know, it's just kind of part of the life of an adventurer and a hero that this happens. And we fast forward past to when you return home. And at this point, Zaxos is done adventuring. So what does he do in his retirement?
I guess he would probably just kind of return to his old life, go back, help his mom with her clinic whenever he can. But at this point, he has had a lot of interactions with people, and in general, they have been less peaceful and tranquil than his interactions with nature. So he becomes kind of a recluse and a hermit. He's gonna set himself up in like a little tent next to like an overturned tree stump and kind of live by himself in the woods. I mean, he would be near a town, and I like to think he would be like a local oddity. Like they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that the big hairy guy who lives in the woods. No, he's actually pretty nice. He makes you lose your way. He'll. I can imagine a lot of people getting lost on their way to Delphi, and him just being like, "You all right, mate? Yeah, you got to go to that big tree. It looks like a bunch of penises sticking up. And if you take a left there, you'll see a slope down, and you just follow there. Actually, you put a little water on, you go down on your bum. It's like a slide." And then so yeah, that's basically his life, just living a quiet life. Whenever there's an opportunity for like a festival, any kind of like death festivals or any kind of nature festivals in the town, he would join for those things. But other than that, and like the random traveler, pretty much sticks to himself, hangs out with him and his cat Oberon.
And in your retirement, you still to this day will hear stories of Xanthos. Xanthos?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Xanthos.
Twice in a row, you're crushing it.
I
mean, he's dead, so after today, I don't think you need to know.
Okay.
A bit, right? And a bit of a consolation to you is that he died saving his team. He put himself on the line so that they could return to the ship. And to this day, people talk about his heroics. In your retirement, eventually time goes on. Eventually your mom will pass away. And as we've...
If Dad charges her full price across the sticks, I'm going to be pissed when I get there. That's fucked up, bud.
And on that, the mist kind of cover over on Xanthos' story, and we return back to the room with the Fates. And...
Good night, guys. That was great.
And
I did see some people, so just to throw it out there, we're in the intro for the people who weren't asking. It's not the end of the campaign. I know you're talking about retiring from adventuring. Some people were like, did I miss the whole thing?
Nope.
So we're good. Just
nope, we're starting at the end.
Yeah, coming to the beginning.
And going back. We're taking that risk to go past Happily Ever After.
What?
And see what happens next.
Dude, we are the first people to ever do that, and I love that about this stream.
So we return to the room with the Fates, and the youngest sister pulls and finishes winding this thread and lets it drop below to the basket of the second sister, and and another hand reaches out amongst the thousands and pulls another strand. And this time it's one that turns a deep crimson as she pulls it through. And following this thread, we go to a different city, further south, to the city of Sparta. And here, not in the nice homes or anything like that, but kind of on the outskirts in the slums, we find the young child of Pyrrhus the Second. Pyrrhus the Second, to be clarified. Who grows up in a life of ridicule and abuse from those in the society above him. But he is unaware of it to a degree because his parents are so loving and hardworking and encouraging to their son. And eventually his father, through his work in carpentry, builds up enough to establish a proper home and get themselves out of that kind of slave class. And by nature of Sparta, young Pyrrhus gets pulled away when he is only 7 years old and entered into the training. The Agoge, I believe is how you say it.
I think that was it. We did a
Google. I listened to the Google,
how do you say it?
But it's like a computer, so it's like Agoge.
Wait, how do you spell that?
Agoge.
Agoge.
I told you, those of you who were here for history, you can get right out.
Get right the fuck out.
Just make up a new name.
Right?
Or just call it what you want and go with it.
Yeah, right.
Ghost
Exactly.
doesn't say.
The Taco Bell.
The Taco Bell. And
What? A goat. Sorry, I forgot that I also have the stream going on. I was just trying to do how to pronounce a goat.
Just read the stream. Yeah.
A goat.
Agoge. See, that's one thing. Okay, so anyway, we're in this Agoge, and young Pyrrhus is put through rigorous training, both physically and mentally, and it is kind of put through the ringer in this training. So we'll enter with Pyrrhus probably in his teen years, and is currently in the middle of a sparring match. And the guy you're fighting is like way overpowering you. You are getting kind of beat the shit out of. And as he's going and is about to do the final blow, kind of lifts you up and like you into the ground. he leans down so that only you can hear back in the dirt where you belong. And walks away and starts laughing with his friends. Your a fellow fighting student comes over and helps you up and says, "Don't pay any attention to them. All right, you deserve a spot here just as anybody for Sparta." Gives you the classic,
Forearm to forearm.
forearm to forearm grip
Oh, you
and
guys are
takes
so
you
cool.
through. And then fast forwarding again, we find again young adult kind of Pyrus, young 20s, who has completed his training and is about to go on his first expedition with his team for the annual kind of raids about. Unbeknownst to you, as you go, you start to notice the path that they're taking you on, and it's leading you to your home, your neighborhood, where you grew up before your father got you out. And Spartans left and right are treating everybody like shit, pushing them into lines, beating them up, going into their homes, taking things they don't need. How does Pyrus react?
Pyrus is kind of shocked. He's looking around and he leans into his fellow soldier and he says, "What is this? What is happening right now?" And he's expecting. He doesn't really understand, that this is occurring and that these what he believed were fellow Spartans, because he didn't see any difference between these people and who he was. So he's kind of concerned and shocked that he sees Spartans to him attacking other Spartans. So leaning to his fellow mate, and this would be the same person who picked him up, who he believes he can trust in. He turns and he says, "What is this? Why are we attacking my people?" And to them he says, "What do you mean? We do this every autumn. This is just the raid on the Helots. We have to keep them in place, otherwise they will rise up, and we can never let that happen. We have to remind them that they are nothing, that they are less than Spartans. They are not true Spartan people." And he can't find the will to even step forward and kind of cause harm to these people. He can't muster the strength to hurt someone that he has been belittled and constantly reminded that he is no better than these people.
Chuck wants you to speak up.
Sorry, Chuck.
I've been cranking it slightly over here. I don't want to overdo it because then Sean will blow.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's the problem because it's one microphone for the two of us and we are not the same volume.
I'll speak up.
I'll try to be a little quieter.
So yeah, your fellow Spartan soldier kind of explains this to you and is also uncomprehending of what do you mean when all that kind of stuff, and goes off and follows orders, and you standing there shocked and unsure of how to behave because in Sparta you follow orders, you follow the group. You guys you are stronger together than you are apart. And you don't know what to do because all of your beliefs have been shattered in that moment, and your superiors come up to you and are trying to egg you on and being go and join and all that kind of stuff, and Pyrus doesn't and is standing there. Flash forward a little bit into the future, again, a few months, and Pyrus chooses to leave the Spartans. How does he do so?
So, in classic Greek nature, leaving or abandoning as a Spartan would mean complete and utter shame. So, because he's already felt that shame, he's already been told that he isn't a true Spartan, he doesn't want to bring shame to his family. So, he believes that because he is so hated by his brethren, that he could get away with potentially faking his death in a sense. In which he believes that he could go down to the towns, as he knows the paths that they're taking, the warpath, and he believes that he can stage a way in which he can get carried off and then sneak out of the town mid-battle and kind of let himself, or he believes that his fellow men would not come to save him if he was overwhelmed at any point in time. So what he does in this act is, during the next raid, he puts himself in a position where he is alone intentionally and with people that he has kind of spoken to ahead of time and said, I need you guys to help me get out of here. I believe that I can leave and bring us salvation as slaves and as Spartans, or true Spartans who do all the work for all of these people and belittle us and treat us less than nothing. He believes that he can leave and come back and fight back for the slaves and bring true Spartan warrior heritage to his people. And so, mid-battle, he goes to swing, but he knows that these people aren't as well trained, so he lets them disarm him and he lets them take them away. And while he's screaming for assistance, his fellow soldiers are just kind of scoffing, like, oh, that slave couldn't even fend off, these lowly peons, and they just kind of laugh at him as he's getting taken away. And in that distraction, he leaves.
And as Pyrrhus exits the way of life that he knew and held to be an honorable thing, sets out on a journey to discover what does a true warrior mean? Like, what does it mean to be that? Are you just a brute, or does it mean something more? And from that, we pull back up into the Room of the Fates, and that thread drops down to mingle in the basket with all the numerous other threads of human life. Another hand reaches out and pulls, and this thread, as it starts to take form, forms a thread of shining gold. And as we follow that thread, we come down to a small city, small town outside of, what was the major city? Athens. Outside of Athens.
That's pretty major.
This is one of the major ones.
Yeah, that's a
Well,
big
because I
one.
remember we had talked about Thebes.
We had said, but then I was
But
like,
then you were like-
that's way too big.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like super noticeable, and that would be bad news. So we just picked, I was like, this is kind of close. I don't know anything about it, but
We just kind of picked a name of a town and was like,
That one.
we're going there.
yeah. That's fine.
It's fine.
I mean, you can make it outside of Thebes if you would prefer. Whatever works for you. I would give you a bunch
It's
of
a
open
town
ended-
outside of a city.
one of those major
One
cities.
of those cities.
Who knows? Who's
We'll
to
figure
say?
it out later when it becomes relevant to the story.
That's right. That works for me.
Love it.
And we come upon a maiden who has just given birth, but it wasn't a comfortable birth. It wasn't easy. And as this bloody babe comes wailing out, she sees her son once, smiles, and unfortunately fades away with him in her arms. And his father picks him up and takes him home and is just destroyed by the grief of the passing of his love, and feeling unable to take care or love this child. He does what all ancient Greek people did, and leaves him to the wild. To have the gods, the fates, do with him what they will. He's out.
Gross.
That's what they do. That's like every story.
Every story, literally.
Gross.
Or he would leap off a cliff, one of the other two, right?
Hell yeah.
And as this babe is wailing in the wild, a spark above kind of shoots by and stops and shoots down to where he is, and the wailings have caught the notice of the messenger of the gods Hermes, and he scoops up this child and takes him back into the town and leaves him on the steps of a temple, gives him a brief blessing of good luck, and shoots off to wherever he was going. Lycus grows up taken care of kind of by the community of the temple and the priestesses and the priests. And once he becomes a child and is kind of self-sufficient and, individually aware and all that stuff, he starts doing what he has to kind of survive. And also, there's not much to do in this small town. So, he starts getting involved with other street urchins. He starts learning the scams of the streets and kind of figuring out any way he can to establish himself, to make a living, to survive. And he grows up in this life, starts to kind of get a little bit of notoriety just within his own hometown. It's just it's like that kid that causes some trouble. He stole some gum from the convenience store. It's fine.
Very progressive and
yeah,
we have convenience stores.
Very convenient.
That's right.
Corner bodega.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
We know the one.
And grows up in this life avoiding kind of authority. And when in his teenagehood, he is creeping through the night. What is he attempting to steal?
All right.
What's the crime Pyrus is committing at
Lycus.
Lycus, wrong one, sorry. Lycus.
He might be committing crimes too, I can't.
It's true,
Probably
might
not.
be. I mean, according to the Spartans, he did.
Yeah.
Oh! I don't know why I owed.
Yeah.
It wasn't appropriate in that moment.
But yeah, what's his thing? What's he doing?
So let's go with let's see. I feel like in my head I want it to be some kind of pottery. I don't know why. It's just a thing.
It's a lot of pottery.
There's a lot. It's a thing. It's a Grecian thing.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
one of those really fancy, all intricate vases of some kind, or I don't remember what they call them. You know what I'm talking about.
You said it.
Pithis.
Pithis.
Yeah, Pithis. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Because I'm going to say that it had vague symbolism to the temple that he was raised in, and in his mind, the person who has it shouldn't have it, so he's going to take it.
Okay. He
wants it, so he's going to take it.
So as he's creeping through the night and through the alleyways and trying to suss out a way to enter this place without causing too much commotion, he hears a loud bang of a tavern door open. What does he do with the sounds of approaching people?
Sure. We're going to just, if we can get up on a rooftop or whatever, just out of the way, duck off to the side, hide. Use stealth.
So you hide. Or let's see. You're gonna be the first person to make roll.
Oh boy!
Make an either athletics or acrobatics
Okay,
to
we're
see if
gonna
you
go
get up.
acrobatics.
To see if you get up on the roof.
Okay, that's a 14 plus 7. It's 21.
Okay, yeah, you definitely make it up there.
So good I did this in the past.
So good. He knows how to hop around rooftops.
He's good at that.
He's a regular Aladdin. Really
So
jump in.
There are a
really
lot of
jump
jokes
in
about that in the chat.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. And following the sound of that bang, after you get up, you see someone exit the tavern in a rush, and they don't seem to notice, but out of the shadows of the darkness coming through, so you have the tavern, you have the building where you are, and kind of away from where the regular other buildings are and any torchlight that is coming, you see a figure emerge with a hood who walks up, and the two figures seem, you can't really make out the words, but there seems to be some sort of an argument. And all of a sudden you see a quick motion, a flash of silver, and one of the figures drops. The one with the hood reaches down, and you don't see any details, but you see the glint of a golden coin as he removes it from the body below, drops it into his pocket, and walks away. Make a perception roll. And I'm starting to get my DM juices going.
Gross.
No, that's not great. That is an 8. That's a natural 1.
Oh!
I know.
You
I
already
do.
have it.
I already have it. I mean,
you woke
I
up
could.
that day.
So I
You woke-
do. Well,
Those are the
well,
rules.
I was thinking about it because I
Wait,
was
you
just
start
like,
with?
Because he's a human. Human, like, that's the human thing now for new human.
Uh-huh.
Is
you
every
start with
morning you
inspiration.
wake
It's
up
like
with-
having a coffee pot.
Oh, great!
Yeah. So
now all humans get a coffee pot.
So you get a coffee pot too,
Well, he's
right?
very...
Oh,
he's
he's
very
different.
old,
You're a
so-
different one. Never mind.
yeah.
You
So
don't get new
Rob-
stuff.
Ross all 5'8".
even if I
We're not trying to-
even if I chose to have advantage, which I guess in theory that's like you had to do it before you do the. I don't know. It's like an 8. I'm just gonna go with the lower number. It's an 8. I roll an
Okay. So with that, the coin, as you saw it glint and flash, you saw spots of red.
8. Okay.
With that, you assume that they're just drops of blood.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, that's what you would assume in this situation.
Mhm.
And the hooded figure looks, guy, girl, who's to say?
Figure. Yeah.
The figure looks, does a quick look around, and then walks back into the shadow and vanishes from your sight. Do you do you stay up there? How long do you wait before you come down?
Well, I'm going to say probably at this point, I mean, living in a small town, being a smaller town, there's not a lot of stabbings in the street.
Yeah, no,
or at least
fair.
that I'm witness to. And as like a 15-year-old, that'll mess you up.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's just like also possibly messed up the score that I was trying to get. So it's just like, I don't have a great reputation in this town. People they know that I do things, but like I also want them to know that I'm so good at stealing all of these things. But then I was in the street and somebody died. So I feel like as long as there's no immediate things, I'm going to try to slowly make my way inconspicuously away and then be like, it was a good run. I think it's best if I just, let me try my luck literally anywhere else. I don't want to be involved with this. I don't have any ties here, really. So I'm just going to hit the road and see where my skills take me.
Cool. So yeah, then we flash forward again, and now we are at young 20s, mid 20s, Lycus, who has come under the employment of an adventurer. They have developed a friendship over this time. Or Lycus, I keep wanting to call you Pyrus, and it's wrong.
Yeah.
Lycus. How does his thievery and crime develop into, and now that he has an actual, people that he travels with?
Yeah, so he, it's, in his mind, he's only gotten better. He's just he will self-proclaim himself the king of thieves, whether he is or not. That's up for debate by people who just don't know him yet. So he's gotten a lot better at stealing things. And working and traveling with his adventurer friend is fun. They don't let him steal as much stuff as he would like. There's a lot of back and forth of like, well, I need you to take this thing for this thing that we're doing. So it's like, okay, I'll go take the thing. But then also I'm going to be like, and this is also mine. And they're like, don't take that. I'm like, fine, I guess I won't take that. And I'll take something else on the way out. And then we have this playful back and forth of like, don't take that. And I'm like, fine, I won't take that. And that is fun for a while of like, we're good friends. I'll help you out. But also like, you're kind of cramping my style.
Yeah. So yeah, and eventually you'll part ways. Amicably, each off to do their own separate business. And the title of King of Thieves that you are...
Oh, it's mine. Nobody thinks that. I think that.
Exactly. And anytime you have ever heard it, which is infrequent, all things considered...
It's not a great thing for a thief to have.
It's not a great thing for... And that's kind of like...
With it, yeah.
The general vibe is like, oh, did you hear about this fucking kid going around calling himself the King of Thieves?
I know.
Are you serious?
I haven't made business cards yet, but I need like a calling card.
He's gonna call down some wrath from like Hermes or something.
Yep.
And like it's the name King of Thieves is kind of out in the world, but it's more so in kind of like a mockery,
Yeah.
like, sure.
Yeah, for right now.
King of Thieves.
All right, listen, we'll get there. We're gonna get there. It's fine.
And so Lycus goes out into the world and is attempting to establish this reputation for himself, and we pull back up into the realm of the Fates as the golden thread drops down and joins the basket, mixed with all the others. So now we come to our present day, and we are going to start with Glum.
Hello.
As people in the town have taken to referring him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's, generally morose.
People think I'm really morose, but I just have a flat affect. I actually have very nice things to say if you stick around long enough.
So, middle-aged,
Mm-hmm.
Zaxos, living in the forest with his perpetual Nemean lion cub. What is he doing on an average August day in the wild?
Ooh, August, you say? August in Greece, I've heard. Very hot.
It's toasty.
It's toasty. So he would probably start his day with a quick hose down in a local stream. You
hear the giggles of naiads
Oh, I cover up my bits.
as he goes.
I'm like, ladies, this is inappropriate every time. Really, consent is important no matter what you look like. And then he finishes up his bag.
They make like lily pads and various stream plants like erupt kind of around you as the waves kind of go further over to cover you and protect your modesty for them.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's actually really kind considering our current predicament. Is there anything I can do for you in return? Okay, lovely. Then he's gonna go fetch Oberon, who usually sleeps in later.
As he would.
And I'm gonna be like, all right, come on, little boy. We got to check on all the... And then he would probably have, I guess, various wildlife in the area that he kind of looks over. So he would go around, like, checking up on, like, a family of some kind of, Greek rodent. I don't know. I haven't been to Greece, so, like, I don't know what they got as far as animals go. So, like, a big...
Badgers!
Badgers? So I'm gonna go to all the ancient...
It's my fantasy Greek.
All
It
the
can have any animals it
hamsters.
wants.
All the hamsters and
Hamsters!
togas.
All the hamsters and the badgers.
Hamsters and togas, and I
And
go...
in togas.
Obviously, it's Greece. So, so I go check on all of them, and then once like midday hits and I've already seen how they're doing, that's when I start to take care of myself. I hit up a couple of like olive trees and start collecting that for oil and stuff. Go to some different like kind of berries and fruits and start picking up some basic vegetation for a kind of scavenged meal to throw for myself. Zaxos isn't a vegetarian, but he doesn't hunt unless he like has a good reason to.
Mm-hmm.
And since it's so hot, the light fare of like berries and like roots and stuff like that is just enough for him today. And then at that point, he's probably just gonna try and cool off.
Cool. So as he has gone about his day and is now relaxing in the shade, cuddling with his cat.
Listen, at times like this, I really appreciate that you don't have your own body heat, because if it was, this would be unbearable.
He climbs up and like goes around your neck, so it's like a little like cool cloth
Oh, that's actually
around your
lovely.
neck.
Oh, run, you little scoundrel, you cheeky monkey. Okay, yeah, no, I hear. And then I give him head scritches, like he likes.
Obviously. And as you're there relaxing, a raven comes and lands by you and just kind of like hops over
Mm-hmm.
and holds out its leg. And there, wrapped around, is a tiny scroll.
Oh!
You would know that the raven is one of the preferred birds of Apollo. So you're you can probably put two and two together that this is coming from Delphi.
Okay, yeah. For me? Or is it for the cat? Alright, I guess the cat can't read, that's why I ask. And I get the letter. All right. I don't have any scraps for you for a tip.
He looks disappointed.
Do you work on consignment? I think actually no. And then I reach into a pocket and I pull out a worm that I forgot was there. I was like, here you go. If you're hungry. Thanks, mate.
And flies off.
All right. And then I roll out.
And you have a scroll that says, Zaxos, hope the wilds are treating you well. As I'm sure you're aware, the Pythian Games are soon upon us.
Oh shit! I forgot.
And while you don't usually attend this festival in particular, I was wondering if you could make an exception this once. The Oracle found something that we think is meant for you. In addition, we could use your guidance on a matter at your mother's clinic.
Oh.
Meet me on the final day of the games at the clinic tent. Hope to see you soon, Penelope.
Who is Penelope?
You would know Penelope as one of the priestesses that assist the Oracle of Delphi.
Okay, cool. And she's cool?
She's cool.
Cool.
You would have known her for a while, having gone in and out, and she was probably like a younger kid around the time that you were like helping your mom out when you had come back.
Okay, cool.
So at this point, she's a young maiden. So
Yeah, she's a nice little kid.
like later teens,
Yeah.
early 20s.
All right.
Yeah, so she is someone, she's like your buddy in the town.
Okay, cool. All right. Since Zaxos has no idea when this festival actually is,
I was gonna say, are you wandering in the wilds? Do you keep up to date on the towns going on and festivals?
I would say Zaxos loses track a lot. The
Fair.
date doesn't really matter to him
Cool.
as much as the season.
Cool.
So I was also gonna say, like, he also doesn't know exactly how old he is. The years kind of blur together. He thinks he's in his mid-40s, but like doesn't actually care. It's a number. It doesn't affect his day-to-day life. Why would he give a shit how old he is?
Yeah, fair.
So yeah, if he doesn't know, I was gonna say if he doesn't know what day of the festival that actually is and like how long he has, then he's gonna head towards town until he bumps into literally anyone and be like, "Yeah, what day is it, mate?" And if he does know, then he's going to, I guess, try and hunt some game for a sacrifice for the Pythos game. The Pythos Cup? What do you call it?
Pythian.
The Pythian Cup?
Pythian Games.
The Pythian game. So he's going to try and get something that would be a good sacrifice for the gods for the games.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, could you both start wandering your way over towards
Cool.
Delphi?
Yeah.
Something comes across your path.
Dope.
You got an offering.
Love that.
Etc. Moving on over to Pyrrhus. At this point, you have started to travel northwards, and you are more in the northern parts of Greece at this point. I'm going to say Pyrrhus, when he left, like, what's his first move leaving the Spartans? Like, what's his first, like, goal?
His first goal as leaving is to try and find at least he wants to partition a god for their blessing. Even though, he believes that he can prove his worth as a warrior, and he believes that he can show the strength in wanting to free his people from the plight of being downtrodden, that he believes that he can gain a blessing from one of the many gods that he has always worshipped. And he's seeking out Apollo, who would be the Spartan god of war.
Ares?
Well, in this case...
Or you're doing Apollo. Okay, go.
I initially chose Ares, but I'm going to lean to Apollo just because it is a bit more of a Spartan point than Ares, I guess you would say. And Apollo was military prowess. Even though Ares he believes that, the Spartans believed in military prowess, they believed in strength and in numbers, and they believed in one unified fight. So he believes that he can bring his military prowess and bring it back to his people and overcome those who oppress them. So at this point, he's seeking to partition a god.
Okay, cool. So he's looking to just get the notice of the gods, preferably someone like Athena or Ares or Apollo, someone who kind of has dominion over what you're trying to represent as a Spartan.
Yes.
I also feel like, from everything I remember about Greek mythology, not a lot of Ares worship to go around. Like
no, there's not a lot.
In
not
most
at
of
all.
the myths, he sucks. So
Yeah.
like, Ares did not get a lot of love from
No,
anyone.
not a lot. I was gonna say the main places you would probably find anything about him would be like I think Thebes, because he helped establish
Okay.
Thebes, and the first king married his daughter.
Okay.
So like something like that. Like he's there, but there's not a lot of like out in the open temples, altars,
Gotcha.
like big open prayer. Cool. So as you're traveling towards more of the northern country, which is where Ares and Apollo and all of their and Athens and all those major cities are, as you're traveling through one of the small, well, not small, it would be, let's say you're in,
Nope.
Not that one.
Carissa. That's a thing.
Sure.
Ooh,
I have a map up. I'm just pulling
Oh.
random names.
love that.
So, anyway, basically, as you're traveling towards one of those major cities of one of those deities, a runner comes through and is announcing and alerting everyone of the Pythian Games. Because the Pythian Games is like, it's kind of like the Olympics where it's held every 4 years, but it's on the off years of the actual Olympics. And it's a big thing. I have a lot of people from different cities come to compete. There are competitions of athletics and of art because this is, one of the sacred cities of Apollo. This is where his oracle resides. And winning one of the competitions and showing a prowess in a particular skill, and as most Greeks would know, is one of the sure ways to kind of at least spark an interest from one of the gods towards your cause. Is like, look at me, look at this big thing I did, look at these accolades I have won. It kind of puts you in the forefront. So you're made aware that these Pythian Games are occurring, and it's probably a good move for you if that's what your goal is. And then we will jump over to Lycus.
Yes.
Unless you had anything else you wanted to add on for Pyrrhus in that moment. Are you planning? Are you gonna head there? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
I inquired about the Pythian Games. I said, "Sir, what are these games you speak of?"
Oh, well, you got your basic foot races. You got foot races that go twice up and down. You've got your races where you wear armor, so it's a little harder. You've got your chariot races. You've got your music contests. You've got your art contests. You've got the 3-mile run. You've got the pentathlon. And he just is listing off all these various games and races and shows of skill that you could potentially win at as a competitor.
Okay.
And whoever wins, they for each thing you win, you get a special laurel. And at the end of the week, when the games are done, whoever has won one of the laurels gets to ask the oracle a question.
So that
For each one they win too. So the more you win, the more insight you get from the gods.
So that kind of perks his attention, and he looks at it and he says, "In which direction are these games?"
Oh, they're in Delphi, the city of Delphi.
And just kind of, without even acknowledging him, because at this point he's just kind of, tune that guy out. He just heads straight towards.
Just starts.
Yeah.
Cool. And you make your way up towards Delphi to join in the Pythian Games. So now we jump over towards Lycus, and where you are right now. Let's see. Where are you at these days?
Where am I?
You are in. This map's confusing. You're in a town outside a city.
Just like the one I grew up in.
Right, feels like home.
Yeah, right?
Sure. So anywho, and you have also been alerted to the Pythian Games. And I'm gonna say in whatever city that you are in right now, I'm gonna let you decide this, but I'm gonna tell you the outcome of it.
Okay. Seems almost irrelevant, but go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. I'm listening. Let's go.
What is a crime or a theft that you have attempted in this town outside a city that has just failed miserably?
Well, the town outside the city is very well known for something that is. I guess, because I really don't have much to go off here, Celine.
I know, I'm so sorry.
So this town outside of a city probably doesn't have any sort of major, whatever the ruler of the town outside of the city. I assume said ruler has. We'll say they have some sort of a treasury, and maybe they have a prized thing. Let's make it a goblet.
A fire!
Yes.
A Hephaestus forged goblet.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. And they have a really great security system, and I've been trying to figure out how to get through the security system. And every time I go, they change something on me, so I can't figure it out.
That's actually a really good security system.
That's actually a great security system.
So I the first time I was like, oh, this will be easy, and it was not easy. So I was like, all right, I got it now. I'm going back in, and they're like, nope, different. So I need to know what the next security system will be ahead of time so that I can beat it. And that's what I'm thinking.
All right.
I don't know if that fits with your story, but that's what I got.
No, that's fine. Cool. So you have now have you boasted at all about your exploits of how you're going to get this goblet?
I would say probably initially, and then I didn't, and I was like, hold on, we're gonna get it, but let's hold off on this.
Cool.
Because
so after your latest failed attempt,
yes,
you are in a tavern, drinking your woes. And you overhear a table kind of be like, "Oi, whatever happened to that king of thieves? Do you ever get the goblet?" And his companion's like, "Listen, if he had gotten it, we would have heard about it. The fact that we haven't heard anything about it means he has failed.
Oh my god.
He is as we can say, I would say he's probably more like the Joker of thieves, maybe the Jester."
I see how it is.
And sidling up to you is a young, handsome man with golden locks, golden curls, simple Grecian tunic, and he comes up to next to you and is like, "King of Thieves, huh?"
Well, so you've heard of me.
Yeah, well, I hear a lot of things.
I mean, you said it, not me. Your words. But yes.
Okay. I got a challenge for you. I'll make it worth your while.
Well, sure. All right, what do you got?
So, Delphi, you're aware.
Yeah.
Within one of the inner rooms of the temple, there's a necklace.
All right.
Very old. Very precious to a lot. It's golden.
Okay.
2 snakes.
Okay.
Some jewels.
Of course.
Steal that. Give it to me. I will pay you handsomely and make sure the title King of Thieves is spread throughout the city.
Well, I mean, all right, you got yourself a deal.
And he reaches out his hand. As you go to shake his hand,
Talking about nerd immersion.
as you
That's an immersive handshake.
as you go to shake his hand, give me a perception check.
Oh boy, here we go. Okay, 19.
Cool. So after you shake hands and he gets up and starts to walk away, you happen to glance down as he walks away and notices on the leather of his sandals are carved wings.
Okay.
And this bright-eyed, beautiful young man leaves the tavern.
Great. All right.
You also will have heard at this point, Pythian games are going on. So in addition to the lore of this challenge, you know that there are going to be a lot of people, a lot of crowds. Pretty easy prey.
Yeah. I mean, I'm obviously going to head there, but on the way out, those two guys that were having the conversation, I'm just going to kind of want to just like walk by these gentlemen and just be like, yeah, well, I would just keep your ear out because King of Thieves is everywhere, and I'm going to try to just like bump into one of them and then also like take one of their drinks and then the purse off the other guy and just like walk out the bar.
Cool, make a sleight of hand.
All right, here we go. That is a dirty 20.
Oh, yeah. You easily snag whatever you want.
Yep.
They've been
That's
drinking,
great.
they're loud, they're not really paying attention to the spatial awareness around them.
Yeah, and then when I get to
100%.
the door, I will look back to them and I will drink that guy's drink and I will be like, gentlemen, and I will bow, holding their purse up in the air, and I'll just walk out of the bar.
Impudent rage behind you.
That's the best feeling.
Yes.
And all three heroes join on the road, heading towards Delphi. Jumping back over to Zaxos.
Yeah.
On your road, on the road to Delphi as you're going,
Good catch.
thank you. You've managed to catch yourself an offering. What do you want it to be? Boar, goat,
Let's go
snake. I don't know.
boar.
Boar, cool. So you
Thank you for the goods.
got your dead boar around you.
Yep.
Happily walking through the sunshine. Well, not happily, but
It's less of a. It's not a jaunt, but it's not a trudge either.
It's not.
It's somewhere right in the middle there.
and as you are going, you feel a sudden gust of cold.
Does this feel familiar to me?
What's your AC?
My AC is a 16.
Okay, so it doesn't deal you any sort of like damage, one could say,
Okay, yeah.
or anything like that. But you, but you feel as though someone has just attacked you.
Oh,
So roll for initiative.
all right. Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, I
What?
had music for this.
All right, these dice are no go.
21?
21. That plus 6 is pretty dope.
Cool.
Well, maybe that'll work.
Give me a second. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, take your time.
Stay with me, internet.
I'm
Stay
here.
with me.
They can't leave.
They can't?
They're not allowed.
Thank God. Let's go with Fantasy Arcade.
Love that.
Right? It's doing the thing.
You gotta mute the stream.
It's doing the thing. Hi, internet. Why are all these slow? I want something battly.
You picked an arcade. This is like, I feel like
I feel like arcade would be like, rah, because like games.
What arcades do you go to? They're usually very chill.
They don't
There's
have
just
them
lots of
anymore.
noises and bloops and
Post COVID, there are no arcades.
Well, that's fair.
Noise are like too mellow.
If only I had a playlist called Fight Music that I used for.
Yeah, I did. I was reading a book about myths. Anywho,
Yeah.
we're here. You got attacked. You turn around. Do you drop your boar?
Oh, if after that happens, if I get to act first,
Yeah, you do. His initiative was real bad.
I want to like basically like lean forward, do a tuck and roll, leave the boar on the ground when I hit it, and then come back up, bow arrow drawn, pointing behind me.
Cool. And before you stands a dude with a shield and a spear, and he just like looks like he's ready to go
All right,
and is trying to kill you.
cool. I'm gonna say first off, I'm just gonna be like, listen, bud, you really done fucked up, and I really think you should reconsider this, bud. All right. And then I want to, I'm gonna use a, Bonus action, Hunter's Mark, and then I'm just gonna try and shoot him.
Cool.
Let me double check, because I know I got some sweet Gloomstalker shit. I think that just means I get an extra attack this round. Trade Ambusher, extra attack, does extra damage! Cool. So, Hunter's Mark. I'm going to attempt to attack him with my bow. That's an 18 on the roll.
That will hit if that's not only on the roll.
Yeah, so that's a 26.
Absolutely.
So that is a D8 plus a D6. Oh, excuse me. 4 plus 4, so that's 8 damage. Not great. And then, as part of my Dread Ambusher, I roll again. Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
All right, so that is my bonus action, my action, and I am going to... I'm going to Jake it. I'm going to move away from him 30 feet, and I'm just going to be like, yeah.
How close up range did you get when you shot?
I didn't. I just shot from where I was.
Okay, because he was, let's say... 20 feet behind you.
Okay, cool. So then, yeah. As long as there's a clear shot,
Yeah.
I get 50 feet away.
Cool.
And then I have my bow drawn. And I'll be like, I told you could walk away right now, mate.
Cool. So, homeboy, what is he going to do? He is going to attempt, to throw his spear at you.
All right.
18 to hit.
That hits.
Cool.
Yeah, we're gonna use these dice.
You take 6 points of piercing damage.
All right.
And then while you're distracted by that, he's gonna try again to cast a spell.
Oh no!
Counterspell. Wow.
Question.
Yeah.
Do those you roll 1, you get inspiration count for the DM too?
No.
No.
It
they're
should.
for player.
That's dumb.
They're for the heroes. That's why it's called heroic inspiration.
Okay, cool. Then once again, you feel it gush past you, but as someone who is kind of part death, not really bothered.
Rude.
But you can crit now. They fixed that. The DMs can crit.
Oh, that's nice. And then
That's a nice thing.
yeah, that's gonna be his turn. He's gonna also use his movement speed to close 30 feet on you.
All right.
And back to you.
Cool. Yeah. I shoot him again. Yeah, I shoot him again. Ah! Fucking, it was a 16 and then a bounce, and then it was a 3, so that's a 9.
Miss.
All right, I am going to use where is it? Yeah, I'm gonna use my Blessing of the Sticks.
Okay.
Cool. So Zaxos, aka Glum, this is the chillest battle ever, dude.
Chills battle.
I'm using the Shatter Kai is my race, but we're reskinning it as him being. I'm basically describing all his Shatter Kai abilities as being a demigod of Charon. So I'm going to use my Blessing of the Sticks. So you see him kind of just like whoosh, shoot down into the ground in a splash of like Styx water, and then he's going to reappear 30 feet. I'm going to go in the other direction, so I'm going to be behind him. And then
you'll be, if you're teleporting 30, he was 20 away, so you're appearing 10 feet behind him.
Yeah, and then I'm going to run 30 feet the other
direction. So now
direction.
you're 40 feet away.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Just double checking one thing. And cool. That's my turn.
Cool. You are now, we said 40 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So he is going to magically pull out another spear.
Magical spears?
Magical spears.
Listen, bruv, you didn't say you had magical spears when I started talking all that mess.
And he's going to try to throw another one at you. That's gonna be a 14.
14 misses.
But that's okay. he is going to run over and try his cold thing one more time.
Cool. He's loud.
He's loud. Come on, guy. Ooh, 17.
17 hits.
Delightful. So, you now take 7 points of cold damage, and your speed is reduced by 10.
Cool. I take, double check this. I have resistance to all damage because of my Blessing of the Sticks for the rest of this turn, so I take 3 cold damage.
Oh, wait. What did I say that you take?
7.
I forgot. No, that was right. You're right. Cool. Yep. Cool. But now your speed is reduced.
Cool. So it's only 20.
So it's only 20.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to use his movement speed, come running at you,
Mm-hmm.
and close the distance. So now you're 10 feet away.
Sweet. I am then gonna cast. You know what? I don't. I'm good. This turn, Oberon is gonna run up and in his face to give me the
Help action?
Give me the help action, so I get advantage on my attack roll.
Cool.
Nat 20.
Ugh.
Love to see it.
Hate to see
Love to see
Hate
that.
to see it.
So that is 2d8s and 2d6s. That's a little better. That's 5, 8, 10, 14. That's 18 points of damage.
Okay.
Oh, and then I'm going to move my movement speed back, which is 20. And then I'm going to use another Blessing of the Sticks to pop out another 20 feet away. So now I am 50 feet away. Or sorry, 50 feet away.
So you were 10 feet away.
Yep.
You moved 20.
Yep. And then teleported 30. So
And
I guess
then
I'm 60
teleported
feet
30.
away now.
10,
Plus 20 plus 30.
Plus 30.
60.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're 60 feet away.
Yes, I got a bunch
you're
more
fine.
arrows where that comes from, mate. So really, you could stop this right now.
As you continue to kind of pop around him,
Mhm.
he's getting increasingly more and more frustrated.
Listen, this is the opposite of what I'm going for. I'm trying to
Picks up his
de-escalate
spears,
the situation.
and
I
he's
just
gonna
don't-
try to throw it
How
at
many
you.
of those do you have, you buck?
Well, he ran up to pick up the one that he
Oh, okay.
missed with before. And that's gonna be a 16 to hit.
That's the number.
Let's go. And Ooh, it fell. You take 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Oh wait, that is half because same reason. So that's
He's gonna close 30 more feet. Right first. Ooh! 18 to hit.
18 hits.
So then rounded down, because it's all damage.
All damage.
So rounded down, you get 3 more points of cold, and your speed is reduced by 10.
Cool.
At this point, I'm gonna say, because convenient storytelling, the two of you come along the road and see the scene before you of this guy who's just trying to kill him, and him just like, bloop.
I'm glad roleplay wise I have been shouting I'm trying to de-escalate the situation.
Yeah, it was great. It's been a really good move for you.
That is so convenient. Maybe like, I don't want to do this, mate. Please leave me alone.
So if you wish to get involved, roll your initiative. If you want to just kind of like observe and stay out of it, that's also fine. It's up to you. What do you want to do?
I
feel like you've got a bigger stake.
We'll say this is like a merge point of roads through the woods.
Oh,
So
crossroads.
You're ducking and dodging, trying to avoid getting hit.
Yes.
And I'm gonna witness this, and I'm just gonna look at him and say, "Sir, do you require assistance?"
So much, please. That would be lovely.
So I'm gonna get involved.
Okay. Let's. I'm just gonna say you can go next. We'll put you just right into the order. So Zaxos is first. Enemy is kobolds. We'll put kobolds. And then you. So you can now take your action and enter the situation.
Oof, lovely.
All right. So, kobolds. I'm going to go for an attack.
Okay, go for it.
And wow. Okay. 14.
14's gonna miss.
All right. no,
Blocks it with the shield.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about it. Well, watching the assistants come in, who also looks quite formidable, but also just flat out miss. At the same time, I'm like, I don't. Describe to me the guy again, the assailant.
Bigger, stronger guy. Breastplate, shield, spears. Because apparently he has more than one.
There's several spears.
Magic bag of spears. No,
So-
actually, you cannot loot that
all right,
off
because
of
I was like, well, then we're definitely taking
You
that.
cannot loot that off
Magic
of him.
bag of
You
spears.
cannot loot that off of him.
He
He has max 2 spears. One is way far away and one is in his hand.
I see. Max 2 spears. Yeah. All right. So I guess sure. I'm gonna roll initiative at the very least. Well, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do here, but I'm gonna get into something with this guy. That is well, it doesn't matter. I'm next, right? That's
Yeah.
what it is.
So
I'm in the order.
Yeah.
Consider me in the order.
You're in the
guess I'm gonna move up relatively close to this guy, this assailant. I'll saunter to the music, very quiet, very.
Stealth your way through with
Yeah.
smooth moves.
Yeah, exactly.
Glide.
And then
Yeah, this is really not the mood.
I guess this is where I wish like disarm was a thing that everybody could do,
Right.
but it's not. It's just really dumb.
Oh, there we go. That's a
That's a
little
little
more.
bit better.
There's a
Yeah.
little more beat to it.
It's got a little jump in it.
Little
Back
pep
in
and
its
step.
I guess
That's
I
gross.
will
I hate
attempt to. I'm gonna attempt to attack this gentleman.
Cool.
But I'm gonna go. I don't want to kill this guy. I don't know this guy's story, so I'm gonna attack him with a scimitar because now I'm proficient with those in this version of the thing, and I think
Dope.
they're cooler than short swords.
I agree.
Whoa! Use it.
So we're gonna non-lethally attempt to assault this gentleman.
Okay.
I am gonna use my inspiration that I have from being alive today.
Being alive.
That is a much better roll. That's a 24.
That will hit.
We will do 11 points of damage
Okay.
to this gentleman. And then as a bonus action,
Yeah.
'cause I want to attempt to. Does this guy have anything that I look like I could steal off of him? Because I can make sleight of hand checks to take things as a bonus action. So I would like to do that. If not, that's fine.
Nothing immediately visible
Okay.
to you.
Sure. Then you know what?
Check his butt.
I will attack him a second time because the scimitars are light weapons. So I will attack him with the other scimitar. Ooh, no. No, that's an 8.
No. Oh no.
I was really
You know.
more interested in what he had on him, and he doesn't have anything, so I'm immediately distracted. I don't like this guy.
Cool. Then it will jump back to Zaxos.
Yeah, I get a little help from my cat, and then I'll try and attack him. You tell him, Oberon. Oh.
Bad?
Dub twos.
So close to
Ooh.
inspiration.
So close to it's the worst you could possibly roll in this edition on advantage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I did that. That
You
was
did.
that. And then you're gonna see me. I gotta use my other spell slot and cure some of this damage. So I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds. And when Zaxos casts Cure Wounds, he has kind of a connection to the different rivers of the underworld. So you see his hand like heat up almost on fire as he summons the Phlegathos and heals himself for 5 points of wait, what? I can't heal as a bonus action. What am I doing?
I don't know. What are you doing?
Losing my mind. That's my turn.
Okay.
And now I'm going to try. Try and stop him with your big shield, mate. And then I'm gonna run behind Pyrus the second and just get like 10 feet behind him. So if anyone has to get to me, they have to leave his threatened square.
Fair.
Check that new spell list. You might have healing word now. If you
Oh, that's true. But even if I did, I would have prepared because the whole thing for Oberon is I want him to be able to deliver cure wounds.
Fair.
Okay, so how far are you from the guy now? You were 30 feet.
Yeah.
Pyrus came in,
Mm-hmm.
tried to attack.
So yeah, then I think I would be like 20 feet.
You're like 20 feet from him?
Yeah, I'm like 20 feet from him.
Okay, cool. So this guy, kind of runs 20 feet, but on like a diagonal, and then cuts the other 10 so he can get to you.
Fair.
And he's gonna attack you with a spear.
Would he leave my space? Because I moved up too.
Yeah, if you were within his
had to hit
within
him,
the
yeah.
if you were within the melee range, then yeah, definitely.
All right, then I'm gonna. If he's leaving, then I'm gonna.
Yeah, he's leaving. He doesn't give two shits about you two, from what you can tell. His eyes have not left him.
That is a sorry. That number is wrong. That is a 16.
That's gonna miss.
Yeah.
Okay. So he dodges you.
Mhm.
He runs out, cuts in, and is actually instead of with his spear this time, he's gonna run in and try to bash you with his shield.
Oh no!
That's gonna miss.
Lovely, love that.
Noticing that it did not work, he's gonna try to go with a spear because that seemed to be working. Natural 20. Love it.
You hate to see it.
You love to see it.
Let me read how. Can I see that back? Hang on. Stand
There are
by,
new
stand.
rules.
There are not a new rule.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
it's this one. Hang on. Let me see how lucky works. Oh, it's against me anyway. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Forgot.
10 points of piercing damage, so halved.
Nope.
No, not half because
It's
you
not-
didn't do your thing.
I only have it twice.
You only have it twice? Yeah.
It's proficiency.
So 10 points of damage, and he makes a third and final attack.
Against you.
That's gonna be a 21.
That'll hit.
This one this time. And that's gonna be 7 points of damage.
Ooh. Jacob!
Pyrus.
Alright, so he's behind me?
Yes, he's kind of like, you guys are kind of making a triangle. So, like, here's Zaxos, here's you, here's the guy.
Alright, so then I will turn around, and I'm going to make another attack on this kobold.
He's not an actual kobold, he's a guy.
Wow.
I just didn't want to clean that one off.
That's a whole 8.
A whole 8, that's gonna miss, bud. Sorry. Is that all you got on your turn at this point?
I don't
Cool.
have any additional actions.
You do have action surge.
You do have action surge.
Yeah, but do I want to waste it?
I mean, I have 1 hit point left.
You do
I
have
don't think
one
it's
hit
wasting
point.
it.
So you know what? You know what? Okay. I'm gonna action surge.
Okay?
Alright, I'm gonna go for
You
another
surge with action.
I'm gonna go for another attack because he started making mad at this point. So I'm just like, ooh,
That's a better number.
okay, that's a 19.
Oh, that will hit, sir.
That will hit. Okay, and then because that's hitting, I would also like to do a distracting strike, which is one of my maneuvers.
Okay.
So that's going to be my attack, which is 1d8. And that is +6, so that's a 9. But then with the distracting strike, I'm going to expend one of my superiority die to add to the total damage roll. And that is going to be an 11 total on the attack. And anyone who now attacks him has advantage if the attack is made before the start of my next turn.
Oof, love that.
Always with us.
Love that.
I'm gonna try to knock this guy out. Oh, it's an advantage, yeah?
Yeah.
You're going non-lethal?
Yes.
Okay.
That is... So my first strike is going to be a 16 again, so that's going to miss.
Yep.
Yes. So then I will other scimitar at advantage, which is a dirty 20.
That will hit.
So I'm just going to pommel.
Yeah, how do you,
Just
quick.
a very kind of in the back of the head.
Cool, and...
I know I don't need to roll, but I...
You want to.
No, I don't, actually, because I rolled... it's only one. I don't need to roll the damage. There's no big numbers here. Knock this guy out.
And this guy is out cold, and you guys are out of combat.
Oof. Alright, well, thanks for coming in the nick of time, mates. Are you lost? That's usually why people run into me around here.
No.
No?
No.
Are you alright?
I've
Are
overheard.
you lost? You seem to be, losing.
Seem to be a little worse for wear in this.
Yeah, no, that was real
Blood's
bad.
Strickland.
That guy almost murdered me. Which would have put a bit of a damper on my day. Yeah, I'll live. Yeah, but I guess what brings you guys to this particular section of the woods?
I hear that the Pythian Games is a way for me to partition a god, so I can bring honor to myself and my people.
Oh yeah, we're really good at that. Actually, so that's you're in the right place. You seem to be good with your weapons, so that's a good sign. You're good starting. Yeah, I can show you where if you like.
Please.
I'm heading there anyway. I got some lady give me a letter from a bird, so I gotta go check it out. You know how it is. How about you, fella? Are you going to town?
Look over and see, it's just, rifling through this dude's stuff, just oh.
Yo, do you see anything in there with the name Zaxos? Because he came out over here, he just didn't really particularly wanted to kill me. It might be in his bum. You might have to check there.
I'm not going to do that, but I will check. There's no
You
pockets.
missed out on the butt diamond.
Oh, no!
You know what? If history dictates, that's not coming out, so...
Cool, so you loot the guy?
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything to loot. You said there's a breastplate.
Yeah, he has armor. Then you'll find a small pouch on his side, a leather pouch that will contain 4 copper pieces. Ooh-wee. 10 gold pieces.
Okay.
And 5 silver pieces. You will also find, while you're looting him, around his neck is a leather cord with a golden apple pendant.
So yeah, I will, in the process of searching this gentleman, I will very deftly just look gold and then be like, oh, I'll make a big show of the necklace.
Okay.
And be like, I don't know, does this mean anything to you?
Does it mean anything to me?
Make a religion check.
All right. That is a 17.
No.
No, I guess.
It kind of vaguely makes you ring a bell.
Question: did I fail?
But that could also be because you're hungry.
Did I fail that check?
Oh. Ha ha.
Can I use new version of guidance to give myself a D4 on it to see if I pass?
That's how it works.
Okay.
You can't use it again for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
but
that's my guidance. That's a 1. Does this 18 get it? Shit!
Again, it vaguely rings a bell, maybe something.
I think it was something with cough drops. Something about that, I think.
Oh, did you take his cough drops?
No, definitely not. I'm talking about the apple. It has something to do with cough drops.
Okay.
I think. I'm making a connection there. Don't remember what it is, but yeah. Do you guys know anything about gold apples? Or usually I see.
If you want to make religion checks, you can.
Green ones and a couple red ones or something.
That's a 16.
That is a 10.
Nope.
I don't think your D4 is going to bust me up past the 10.
No,
so.
probably not.
Nope.
All right. Oh, well, it's a clue. Maybe, this has something to do with religion. I'm about to go to a temple, talk to a lady named Penelope.
Sure. I mean, maybe. I have no idea what it's about, so sure.
All right.
I was more of just thinking out loud there, I guess. But yeah, I can take you guys to town. Are you here for the games also?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Alright, dope. I can also show you to where they are.
That sounds
if you guys
wonderful.
want. Oh, you want a piece of this pig as an offering? I was gonna hog the whole thing, and no pun intended. But like, if you guys want a bit, I could carve you up a little. You can say thank you to the gods.
Sure.
Yes.
So I give each of you one of the back haunches,
Okay.
and as I hand it off, I'm just like, "That's where the bacon is." So that's how you know it's a good slice.
Sure.
And then I take that front half and I throw it over my shoulder. Well, come on, the day's not gonna wait for us.
And the three of you head down the road towards the city of Delphi. At this point, we will go and take a very quick break. I ran a little late, so it's going to be a quick break. Hi, Internet. We're back.
Aren't we just?
Hope you had a lovely break. I know we did, because we got coffee. And coffee gives us life.
Nerd Immersion, sponsored by coffee.
Pretty much.
Okay, so we left you guys on the road to Delphi. So when you arrive there, somebody roll me a D8.
Ted, do it.
6.
You are arriving on the 6th day of the Pythian Games. They run for, I believe it's 8 days, so there are 2 days left. So when you arrive, not all of the games obviously will be like available to you because some of them happened earlier in the week. So as you enter the city, there are crowds. There are a lot of different types of Greek peoples here. You'll see just regular citizens in pretty simple clothing. There are people with more grand dyed fabrics and adornments. There are warriors. There are people who are kind of down on their luck but now have a chance to compete and earn some honor for themselves and a status, etc. I use that word a lot. And yeah, it's a festival day, so everybody's out. There are, flowers. It's the celebration of Apollo. There's a lot of gold and light, and
This is a lot for me.
and there are stalls selling food. There's wine, pretty much not freely available, but it's
Depends on who you ask.
easily available. Depends on who you ask. So yeah, you guys can walk. What's your plan as you are entering the city? Are you gonna stick together? Are you gonna just take them to the thing? What's your move?
Because Pyrus specifically mentioned competing and gaining the favor of a god, my plan was to lead them to where you go to sign up for the games.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also on the way there, I'm gonna be like, oh, by the way, my name's Zaxos, but the one time I had battle companions, they called me Glum. So if you want to call me that, I guess you qualify now. Look at that. That's called Fast Friends. I like that. So yeah, if you guys need anything while you're around, you just say Zaxos, and then if I can hear you, I will say, how can I help? So yeah.
Great. What games are left?
Okay. So the most interactions with Glum so far is just
All right, that's
and we move on.
Yeah.
So you guys, you'll lead them through and kind of towards the center. So there's the city, and a lot of Grecian cities, there are cliffs and there are buildings. There are kind of layers to the city. Up, way higher up, there is a particular flat kind of area on the cliff that has a couple of different temple-esque looking buildings, and even further away up on a cliff, you will know is the temple of the Oracle.
Okay.
And that's kind of above and a little bit removed from the regular city proper. You guys go through the city. You kind of end up kind of more in like a central kind of area, where there are the lines for the signups for the games. So games that are left. Let's see. There is. I'm assuming none of you, being not bards, that none of you want to do any of the music or art or the dramatic acting competitions.
Actually, in preparation for the festival, on his last trance, Zaxo swapped out a proficiency for a panpipe proficiency.
Oh!
So he was going to enter the music competition.
Okay, then we will say the music competition is still available. We'll say that each day has been a different instrument. So we've had lutes, there have been harps, there have been lyres. Today happens to be the flute day.
Heck
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm very
You made
excited
it in
about
time. Then there is also, let's see. There is, I'm going to say this wrong, hoplitodromus, which is basically, it's a race, but you're in armor. So you're encumbered by you're in hoplite.
Yeah, your hoplite races.
Hoplite races. The other races are just like foot races, and you just kind of go naked because it's Greece.
Dope.
They do that.
Love that.
So yeah, so the hoplite race is available. There will be a hand-to-hand combat, just kind of like duking it out. Think MMA kind of. Then there will be on the last day, so it's not happening today, but it'll happen a day or I'm gonna say the games end on the 7th day, and the 8th day is like the big feasting festival ending of the festival.
Mm-hmm.
So on the next day is the chariot races.
Mm-hmm.
So if any of you want to enter that, you can. Let's see. I think it's fun. So there's a dramatic acting competition, and you have to give your most tragic performance. Fun fact, that was an actual thing. Tragedy performance was a competition.
That's fun.
Which I thought was fun, so I brought it in. Yeah. So chariot race, foot race, hand-to-hand combat.
Musical instrument.
Music.
Hi.
And an archery. There are five events left. That's how I'm doing it.
How many can we sign up for?
I'm gonna say you can sign because of the time constraints, as if real life time, multiple things would be going on at once because there are a lot of people. You can sign up for 2.
When in relation to current is archery?
Archery is later this day.
Cool.
Probably 3 hours from now.
Cool, that's enough time. I'm gonna sign up for archery.
Okay.
And then I will say I have to go see somebody. So I'll be back for archery. Good luck,
Yeah, it was nice to meet you, man.
gentlemen. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna go, and I'm looking for a temple. Yeah, right. The inner rooms. Gotta go find the steel necklace. So that's what I'm gonna go do.
Okay.
I have to observe people that are there, though. I think that's kind of plan.
All right. Pyrus, what do you want to sign up for?
Are the hoplite and hand-to-hand conflicting?
No, you can do the 2 of them.
I will take both of those.
Okay. Hand to hand and hoplite race. Cool. And then you just music?
Just music.
Cool. Zexos.
I use my bow to kill people in self-defense. I don't like to use it in other kind of situations.
Awesome. Okay, so let's do, since you, Pyrus, you have chosen to do 2, let's get one of them done now, and then we'll kind of cycle through for each of you. So first up is going to be your hoplite race.
Okay.
So what's gonna happen is you're gonna make a series of checks, basically. I will take that information. I'm gonna be making checks for your competitors. And depending on how those play out, I'll tell you your results. So, they give you everybody kind of the standard array, so it's equal. Everybody's carrying the same amount of weight. So you'll have a shield, a helmet, a breastplate, and a weapon. Let's say spear, like simple spear, that you have to run with. So the first check that you are going to make is an athletics. So just basically like, can you run? Can your muscles strength enough to have like run with all this armor?
That's a 12.
Okay. So let me see.
Forced marching, not a lot of sprinting. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Phalanx movements, not a lot of like. It's more traditional.
You got a
Sparta
12,
than
you
300
said?
Sparta.
Yes.
Okay, so the race starts. They like horn to get you going. As you start making moves, you notice one guy kind of takes off ahead of you. Like no big deal. You can tell he's been training for this moment. Another guy is kind of on your level, pulls ahead very slightly. You as you're running, it's a little sluggish to get going because you're like trying to build the momentum with all that weight on you, and then two guys are behind you, just like,
Okay.
and like real struggling with it. So as you continue on, give me a perception check.
Perception.
Mm.
Okay. That is a 15.
Oh, that's the number. Okay. So as you're running, you notice the guy who was like just barely ahead of you, glance back and notice how close you are and try to swing his arm that he has a spear in pretty far back to try to kind of catch your leg and knock you over. You noticing this are able to kind of dodge over it and then pull ahead of him.
Nice.
Last but not least, I need you. Hold on, where am I? There you are. Okay, the next is going to be just a straight strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. Alright. That is a 16.
Ooh. So you're running and you surpass the one guy who was in front of you and you start gaining on the guy who came out of the gate super strong. And as you're running, you notice him like a few paces out from the finish line. Starts with each step, he starts to kind of sink a little lower and a little lower and a little lower until he is basically like on his hands and knees trying to get himself back up through the armor. And you are able, just through like consistency and not trying to go super hard right away, are able to overtake him, cross the finish line, and you win the foot race,
Yeah.
the hot plate race. Next we're gonna jump over to, let's do music.
Yeah.
So, for music, I didn't see in my brain, none of you were going to do it, so I didn't really flesh out the roles for this, guys.
You know, yeah.
Little peek behind the curtain.
Well,
Uh,
save that BTS for the Patreon, dear.
Give me, I need Sean
Yes.
to like, make a song for us. Play us a song.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one.
Okay.
If I do more, we're getting into copyright issues.
Fair. Okay. Give me a performance check.
Can it be a pen flute proficiency check?
Yes, it can.
Thank you. That's a nat one. So I do real bad, but I get an inspiration.
So that's what it sounds like in your brain.
Yes.
But what the audience hears is.
And then I will take a bow.
And a lot of the people look very confused as to what just happened. But you have your kind of locals who know who you are and are aware of your reputation are just kind of like, yeah, Glum! Yeah.
Thanks, mates. Happy to be here. Make sure you tip your waitresses.
And,
They're lovely people.
That's your inspiration. That's where your inspiration comes from.
Cool. Couple facts, that's all you need.
Needless to say, you did not win the competition.
You know what? I was about to ask that, so I'm glad you did say it.
Yeah, no.
So it wasn't needless.
It was,
Needed
yeah.
to be said.
Needed to be said.
Needed to be said. Needed to be said.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Archery. So, the first stage of archery, there are going to be a couple different ones. So, the first one is going to be just a straight attack roll.
Okay.
Should
I do that now?
Yeah, it's going to be a straight attack roll, and then I'll do this first.
Okay, cool. That is a 16.
It hits. Still target. Pretty easy shot.
Cool.
Next.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Actually, let me see how your competitors. Okay, 1 misses the target completely.
Awesome. That's a good start.
2 hit the target, but they're not like quite like they're not like great shots. Like they're like in the middle ring or a little bit out. 1 guy hits it dead in the bullseye.
Okay. All right. Competition here.
You hit close to the center, but not quite on the mark.
Okay.
Okay, so the guy who completely whiffed it is out.
Okay.
Next stage is the targets, because it's Greeks. Why not? A couple of low class guys come out, pick up the targets, start moving, start running around.
Oh boy! All right. Wow.
Each of them has. I'm gonna say each of the targets are color coded, so like which one is your target. You're not just hitting any target. You have to try to hit your target specifically.
Okay.
So again, let's do an attack roll again.
22.
You get it? These 3. Cool. This another guy whiffs it, not able to make it. One of them shoots and it looks like it's gonna be a real nice shot, and then the guy's just like, whoop, and it just catches the edge of it.
Okay. Didn't catch the guy.
Yeah, do you think they get some kind of reward or punishment based on whether they get the targets?
Well, I'm shooting, so I'm assuming I'm not.
No, that's just more glum
So it's
wandering
like-
into the ether. See what's about.
Different guy, not the same guy from before, manages to catch it in the bullseye.
Okay.
So the other guy who completely whiffs, again, is out. So now you're down to 2 other guys that you're shooting at. So this time, same kind of an idea where it's a moving target, but now the goal is to hit as many as you can.
Oh, okay. Rapid fire. Got it.
Rapid fire. So each of you have your color-coded target, but you also were given arrows, so each of the feathers are different, so you're able to get an equal count. So what I want you to do for this is let's do a dexterity check.
Okay. That is a check, not saving throw. Confirming. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. 17.
17. Okay. Roll a D6. D8.
My arrow die.
Oh, it's so thematic.
Oh, cocked, which is weird to say on an arrow. That is a 6.
Okay. So the other guy, this is the same guy who hit the bullseye the first time round.
Okay.
Kind of like shakes it off now that he got one in with a moving target, and he rapid fire goes and manages to catch one extra arrow out from you.
Well, fair enough.
So unfortunately, you get second place in the archery competition. Back over to Pyrus for hand-to-hand. So, you are going to, first and foremost, well, it's hand-to-hand combat. So first, roll initiative.
Sounds good.
Good start.
8, 9.
Okay. So the way this is gonna work, so like it doesn't take quite as long as like actual combat. I'm gonna have you and me to you in turn describe what you're trying to do to get him like to submit. You can either win by knockout, you can win by pinning him and having him tap. You can have, like kind of, this is a chance for you to kind of use your creativity with your combat stuff, and describe to me, and then based on what you're trying to do, I will give you a roll to make to see if you are successful in that.
Okay.
Are you nude?
That's the question. Am I wearing armor? What's my ace level?
Ooh, no armor.
Okay.
It's hand to hand, so no weapons.
No weapons, no armor. I'm taking it off.
I will say it's grease, so I'm gonna say for comfortability, if you want, you can have like a loincloth.
I'm down for it.
But if you're comfortable to go straight nude, you could also do that.
I'm a Spartan. Let's just take it all off.
Just take it off bare.
I'm just all
bare
muscle, all chiseled, just naked as hell.
Just ready to go. Let's go.
Put your nuts on his nuts. I don't know if that's how you win, but it sounds funny.
Delightful.
I was raised in the wilderness naked with a cloth. That's all I know.
I got a 6, so you get to go first.
Oh yes, okay. I'm gonna go straight for a solid punch. Like I'm going for I'm strong. I'm in the fight. You can't handle this.
Going for the knockout.
Going for a knockout.
Going for the knockout. That is a 15.
Okay, you guys don't have armor, so you hit him. So you catch him. Give me a. Give me an athletics check.
That's rude.
I'm sorry.
That is a 12.
Okay, you're able to catch him and like daze him a little bit, but it doesn't take him down. Okay. There wasn't enough oomph behind it. Gotta use your body weight, man. You just went for the arm. Cool. So that him getting kind of caught down, he's gonna come at you and try to grapple and take you down. See, does a 10 get ya?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Your turn. So he goes. How do you? Is he just holding on to you, and you're just like still, or do you dodge out of the way so he kind of misses?
I'm gonna let him hold.
Okay.
But yeah, he can't move me. He has his arms around me, and
you just feel him kind of like trying to push his weight into you.
I'm just standing there staring at him, like, what the hell are you doing? And in this next turn, I'm just going to try and flip him down. But because I'm like this, I'm going to just kind of shove my body weight and trip him with my leg, in a sense. Does that make sense? Like, kind of. Like he's holding me.
Holding you. You're going to kind of fall.
I'm going to wrap my leg around his, and I'm going to just kind of drop him.
Okay, cool. Sweep the leg. Sweep the leg. Awesome. Give me...
It's fun because you can watch her think.
Give either an athletics or acrobatics, whichever is better for you.
Okay. Whew.
Noise.
That is a 24. I'm sorry.
24. Oh yeah, you take him down. So you were kind of falling to get your weight on top of him, or were you going like sweeping the leg? Like
yeah. So basically, if
Here, are you going that
we're
way?
in a separate position, I would now be in a position where I could just like kind of just start wailing on him.
okay, cool.
You're going for the ground and pound.
Yes.
Okay,
not
so
a band.
you have knocked him down. I'm going to give him a chance to break out. So give me a strength saving throw.
Strength saving. Ooh, that is a 26.
Yeah, he.
Don't bury the lead, dude. That's a nat 20.
That's a nat 20. I rolled a nat 1.
Okay.
Polar opposites. This guy, as you knocked him down, him not being aware that you were physically able to do that with him that close to your body, as you knock him down, kind of smacks his head. So he's kind of like a little like, so he's just kind of squirming under you like a slug. And he is unable to break out. Give me a attack roll. Let's see if you can knock him down.
That is.
Would the attack roll be at advantage
Yes!
because his opponent is
Absolutely.
not
Oh,
prone?
thank God.
That's not as much of a better that I would hope for.
Wait, you said you can give inspiration to people, right?
But he's gone.
I'm not there.
But he
Oh,
has one.
He didn't. He gets it because he didn't have one already. If you have inspiration,
Oh, if you have it already,
you
then
would
you
get
can
it
get
again,
it.
you can
Never
give
mind,
it
you
to
don't get
somebody
that.
else,
What did you
yeah.
get?
11.
Yeah, no. I mean, like you're gonna get him. So, but again, it's like not quite. Basically, I'm. What?
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
There was a fuzzy. There was like a black fuzzy that I couldn't tell if it was a bug or not, like a little fruit fly on your face, and I was gonna knock it off, but it went on away on its own.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. He's gonna try to break out again. Give me another. This time, because you're not the one who's trying to keep him down, he is now trying to get out. I'm gonna have just do a straight strength check.
Strength check. Okay. Not a saving throw.
Not a saving throw.
Oof, that's a 9.
I also got a 9. So, but I win. That means a tie because right. I don't know why I'm asking. I'm the one who knows what I'm doing.
We don't really. Yeah.
A tie goes to the person who rolls, but that's when you're trying to overcome like a DC. When it's a roll off,
Yeah.
You make the rolling, dear.
I'm gonna say he's still stuck. Okay, give me one more attack roll.
19.
That you'll hit. Since he's pinned and can't really do anything, I'm gonna say because you get him like square in the face, knocks out.
Nice.
You win. Pirates is like kicking ass in these games.
That's what we do. It's what we do as Spartans. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's actually true that they're actually better at this stuff because they spend their whole lives working at it. I don't know why we're surprised, but like, yeah.
So at this point, it's later in the day. While they're doing stuff, you are off doing your thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to
You're
steal.
doing separate things.
Yeah.
What? So yeah, you guys spend the day doing these things and whatever else you want to do in the evening times.
So the
What's your
temple,
The temple.
where this necklace is held in the inner rooms.
Yes.
Gold necklace, snakes and jewels.
Yes.
What's like the garb of the people that tend to this temple? What do they look like? What do they wear?
Cool. So there's the platform, kind of cliff area
Mhm.
that has a couple of different ones. And those are more specific towards like Athena. There's an Athena temple. There's an Apollo temple. Like a smaller one, not like the Delphi one.
Mhm.
Or the Oracle one.
Mhm.
And then some other like buildings that are probably like where people like where the priests and priestess live. So anyone who tends to that area is in white, just regular white tunics, but they are floor length and they'll have a specific strand of beads
Hmm.
on them that are multicolored kind of gemstones.
Okay.
Those are the ones who tend to that particular area, and then anyone who is directly involved with the oracle or tending towards that side of things are in light purple robes.
And it sounded like to me that this was, I'm assuming, more towards like the Oracle Temple is where the said necklace is held, or because I know it's in one of the inner rooms is where the necklace is held, but in which temple am I going to? Do I know? Did I get that? I mean, I don't know what I had. What I wrote. I mean, what I wrote down is in the inner rooms there is a necklace with gold snakes and jewels on it. So
Fair.
I don't know if there's one temple that I think is the one, then that's the temple I'm going to go to. But
Fair. Give me a history or religion, whichever is better. Are they both bad?
No, they're both the same.
Okay.
Which is a 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that, you would know that, like, if this was a specific, like, kind of like artifact or precious to the temple, somehow it would probably be in, like, one of the sanctuary areas.
Okay.
So it's either going to be in, like, a more secure room in the Athenian temple.
Okay.
Or it is in one of the more secure rooms in the Oracle of Delphi one. You don't know which one it is. Those are the two big main ones that you would think to find it.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot for the Delphi temple.
Okay, so that is a bit of a hike.
Okay.
From where you are. You gotta do some upward hiking. So I'm gonna say it takes you maybe like an hour and a half.
Okay.
To get up there.
Is the Athenian one here in the city?
It's closer.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so like if the city is like this, you have kind of like the plinth here with the smaller temples or living quarters, and then a bit of a hike up that way is where the Oracle of Delphi's like sanctum is.
Okay, sure. So we'll go there.
Cool.
That sounds like a better one.
Cool. You walk your way up there. When you arrive at that temple in particular, there are 2 guards outside of the door to enter into the main chamber. And from outside, that's really all you can see is like this one main room. You would assume that because it's up on a cliff that there are probably like lower chambers that are deeper down.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's like an outer area with pillars that's kind of opened, but then there is actual like walls for going into where the Oracle of Delphi presumably does her work.
And then windows on the outside, yes, no?
Small ones.
Not big enough to fit through.
No.
Tell me. Okay.
No, you got to get through the door. So you can either try to wait until for like you don't know if there's like a changing of the guard or anything like that. So you can wait around and see if you can do that, or you can try to schmooze your way in.
Yeah. Did I see? I mean, I don't know if I've seen in this process what these sort of Delphi or in the city anything these sort of attendants to the temple. Well, I see what the guards are wearing, but like
you don't really see like on your way up you might have passed 1 or 2 purple or light purpled robed people kind of scurrying about, either bringing stuff to the temple or taking things away. There's a lot of not like hubbub, but you would assume based on the fact that people are granted audiences with the Oracle in the next couple days that there's a lot of like preparation happening there. So like you'll see an occasional priestess come out or go in. That's kind of it.
Okay. Let's see. Sure. Yeah. So I'm gonna. How do I want to approach this? Yeah. You know what? I'll attempt to smooth my way in past these guards.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll go up to the guards and I'll say, gentlemen, How we doing?
Oh there, traveler.
Oh, well, there it is.
Just for you, Ted.
Thank you, Celine. Yeah, listen, I gotta get inside. I got some work to do inside.
What work? What business have you
Well,
with the Oracle of Delphi?
as you know, there are a lot of people going to be coming in and out of here. Everybody who wins the games coming in, get fighting. That can lead to some nefarious types trying to make their way in here with
We are quite aware.
exactly.
We've been here for like 5 days.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So you're here because you understand that they may use the instance of winning one of these contests as a means to gain access to here, and they could be using that as a means to get in and then to cause all sorts of havoc, taking things that they shouldn't be taking. Yes,
Those ruffians.
I know it's despicable. I completely I get it. So I am here to just go in, take a look around, make sure that there's no glaring sort of security issues here. Make sure that things on the up and up, any kind of areas that they should keep an eye out, like, oh, you know what, that window looks like it's too small. Someone could actually probably fit through that. You should either fix that up, post a guard over here. You want to make sure that nobody is going to make their way in here and cause any problems. Tell you where all your weak points are. I'm here.
The other guard just like goes and starts like checking the windows.
See, he gets it,
like, what?
clearly.
No one can fit through those windows.
People come in all shapes and sizes. The gods have crazy magic.
Who sent you to do such a task?
That is a wonderful question that I will provide an answer to you. And that answer is, let's see. Now, what do I know about the city of Delphi, just in general? And this process and like who puts on the games and things like that.
Fair. The games are put on mainly like the main kind of like ruling power or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's less of like one particular person is in charge of the whole city, and it's kind of like a council.
Yeah, the council.
I was gonna say your other move could potentially be is Greece. Everybody's very superstitious about gods.
That's fair. I mean,
you might have been sent by a god.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'll start with the
Council?
Yeah, I'll start with the council.
Then make me a persuasion check.
Or deception, because I'm lying.
Ooh, or deception.
I'm flat out lying on all of this. So
Yeah,
go with
either
deception.
one. Either one.
Because I'm better at that.
That's totally fine.
That is a... Let's go with... I'm going to use my lucky here to get advantage.
Ooh.
And I'm going to take the inspiration that I just got from rolling a natural 1. Oh, wait, no, I have it still because it's a new day.
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. Because we fought 5 days ago.
Okay, yes.
So I'm going to give you inspiration because I just rolled a natural... Oh, wait, it doesn't count because I'm getting advantage. Never mind.
Yes.
Okay.
Fair. All right, that is
rolls.
Sorry, many rolls. 19.
19. Yeah. The council. That's very important business.
Yes.
On your way, sir.
All right, and I will be like, you keep doing what you're doing. You guys are great. And I will walk in and I'll be like...
They let you in.
All right, and I'm gonna be like, all right, let's go find this necklace.
Cool.
But I'm gonna like, in case anybody does, I don't know who's in here, I'm gonna be like, I'm looking around. I'll pull out like a notepad and just be like, scratch some notes on a parchment, because the notepad's probably on our thing.
No,
and I'll be like,
not at all.
take a look at that window, and I'll be like,
Window.
Yeah, you know, and just look around, and I plan to come up with something if these guys ask me on the way out, like, what did I find? So just, what do I see?
Okay, so as you enter this temple, the main kind of chamber that you enter into, where like you see like through like there are the little windows and stuff like that, appears to be kind of like an offertory room, a room in which there's an altar that you'll see maidens, priestesses come in, kind of are like flitting about, hanging up vegetation and decoration, preparing the altar for sacrifice, all that kind of stuff. You'll notice that there seems to be kind of like behind like columns seem to be where they're like coming from and or going to. but that is the other than the actual door out. That is the only like in and out that you notice. You can't see really like a doorway of where they're going.
Okay.
But you see them kind of go into the back corners and.
Okay, I will make my way over there with purpose, inspecting clearly all of the things that are of importance in this room.
Cool. Make an investigation check with advantage.
Yes. Okay, 13, 19. That is dirty 20.
Cool. You are able to catch one of the priestesses actually like kind of go around, and you'll notice her kind of pass through a pillar.
Oh. Platform.
Like Harry Potter-esque style. So you are able to manage. You manage to see like the wisps of her robe kind of vanish into it as she walks.
I'm gonna walk over there and be like, well, this is shoddy craftsmanship. We'll see people walk right through it. I'm gonna walk over.
That's the no you give them.
Yeah.
Some kind of curtain in front of that, so like people won't see it walking around.
Yeah. Discretion is advised.
Cool. Do you touch the pillar? Do you attempt to follow suit?
I guess. Yeah, I will attempt to follow suit. Whatever. I saw her just walk, so I'm gonna be like, here we go. Give it a shot.
Cool. Make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. That is a 22.
Woo! Good for you. Okay, nothing happens. You go through.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, nothing bad happens.
Is pillar.
You are able to pass through, and you kind of catch yourself before tipping, and in the same kind of diameter of the pillar that you just entered is a spiral staircase that leads down.
Okay. Not up, just down.
Just down.
Down we go.
Okay. You go down, and eventually it will open out into kind of like a hallway landing. You now know the walls are stone, so you imagine you have gone now into the mountain underneath the temple.
Okay.
You can either go straight or left.
Left, obviously.
Obviously. You go to the left, and after a few, maybe 30 feet. It's not very far. It's not a very big area.
Mm-hmm.
You will come to a door.
Okay. Is it open? Is there a door?
There is a door.
Okay. I will. Is it locked? Is that door? I will stealthily peek open into the room there. See what I see.
Cool. You see a room with various alcoves and plinths that have. Some have boxes, some have a shape with like a fabric over it, etc., etc.
All right, this is the necklace room. I'm convinced. Slip in through the door.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. No, 26.
Okay. As you cross through the threshold, you feel a little wire on your foot, and arrows from the back wall. And you are able to quickly duck out of the way as they shoot over you.
I'm gonna take all the arrows out of the door.
Okay. You got arrows.
That's fine. I'm gonna reset the tripwire that was there.
Okay.
There's no arrows, but it's reset so that people won't know that I was there.
Cool.
Time to find this necklace, if it's even here.
If it's even here.
I will go through all the plinths and see what I see. Are there? If it's out in the open, even better.
It's it's alcoves kind of carved into the wall, and on the plinths are various things. Give me an investigation check.
Sure. All right, that is a 12.
12?
Yes.
You are able to kind of like.
No.
A few of them being like, not it,
Yeah.
not it. So the things that will catch your eye is a simple wooden box. Marguerite says boxes.
Okay. Pandora had a box. That's fine.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Pandora had a pithis. It's not important.
Whatever.
We argued about this before.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Dagger.
what came up? What's a pithis, Sean? I'm just saying.
There's another plinth with a fabric over it, but it's not. There were two different ones that kind of have a covering. One seems to be more like orbish,
Okay.
and the other one is more flat and kind of like bumpy.
All right, I'm gonna go to flat bumpy.
Okay, go over to the flat bumpy.
Now that I've already triggered a trap, I'm gonna look around this thing. It's a piece of fabric, but I'm gonna look around for traps.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Fabric.
That's a 10.
That's a 10.
All right, cool. Flip the fabric. What's underneath the fabric?
Your dexterity.
Of course, yeah. That's fine. All right, that's a 21.
I don't like that you're so good at this, but I was.
That's my whole
I
thing.
know it's your
What do
whole
you
thing.
want from
I know
me?
it's your whole thing. I love it for you. I hate
No,
it
you-
as a DM. I hate it for me, but I love it for you.
Thank you, Slime.
She contains multitudes.
Mm-hmm.
I see. This is a
Yes,
layers.
multi-tiered emotions.
He's a nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So as you go to like kind of like start to peak, the timing works out where you have lifted it before you've put your face down.
Great.
Because out from underneath comes like a puff of green mist that kind of shoots out initially and then kind of like heavily coils down towards the ground and disapparates
Great.
around you. You are able to lift.
I'm gonna be real pissed if this isn't it, but is it?
It is.
Awesome. Great. So what I'm gonna do
You got it.
is I'm going to.
So
take
yeah,
this-
you see
this
the necklace sitting on the plate.
I'm gonna look. Do I see like a pressure plate under said necklace?
No, you're
Okay,
good.
I'm gonna take that necklace.
Okay.
And I take that gold apple necklace that I took from before.
Ah.
And put it back there and put the fabric right over top of it.
Cool.
Yeah, that was like that. We're gonna keep that. That's cool. That's a good
Cool.
thing.
Is your plan to bail out now?
Yeah.
Okay, so give me a stealth check just to see if you can get back to the temple proper without any of the priestesses noticing you in the restriction.
18.
Yeah, you're good.
Expertise.
So you are able to get out. You walk out. The guard's like, "How was your inspection, sir? Are we up to snuff?"
You know, I see a lot of things that I like. But, I'm going to be honest, you look around that main room, I would just say, you know, maybe some, this is really more of a, I'd say maybe some tapestry, some curtains. It's very, as far as security goes, I think it's fine. But I feel like I know they're doing decorations already, like during the process, but like, I mean, games end tomorrow. I don't know how many people they have dedicated to this, but I think a little aesthetics could go a long way. Some simple fabrics, that's all I gotta say. But otherwise, also the stonework around that back left window just looks a little crumbled. That's more of a safety thing than anything. So
Great. Noted. We will tell the superiors.
awesome.
Thank you for your service.
Anytime.
And Lycus strolls on
And I
down the
will
road.
whistle on way down the thing.
Down the thing.
Yeah.
Cool. So from there, we're gonna jump to the next day. Does anybody have anything in particular they want to do on this day?
The first night or the second day? Sorry.
The second day.
Gotcha.
We have concluded the day in which you guys competed and stole your necklace.
No. Glove just
The
wants to
following day.
go to the meet up with Penelope. That's his only goal for the day.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So we will jump. You guys are hanging out, enjoying the festival. Yeah, because the next day is when you'll get your prizes. And is there anything Pyrus wants to do with
I'm Lycus,
on that day?
but that's fine.
You're fine?
No, I mean I'm Lycus. You said Pyrus.
Oh, I keep doing it. I'm
I
so
know.
sorry.
It's fine.
I'll get it eventually.
It's fine. It's
Game
like giving
one.
everybody G names. It's great for the DM.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's do that more.
No, I will just look for the biggest marks in the crowd that are the most drunk, and I will take the most things.
Okay, cool. Give a sleight of hand. We'll just do one general one for all of it.
That is an 18.
An 18, nice. Okay, so you managed to grab. Let's do because it's a big day.
Sure, I like that. That sounds great. I like a big day. My big day.
I was gonna say, like, this is big day.
You get 62 gold pieces
Awesome.
over the course of that day from various.
What a bunch
Peoples.
of drunk.
Oh yeah,
This is
it's
great.
a festival. People are like, woo, going
Praise
nuts. Anything goes.
Dionysus. What a great day for me.
Cool. So you're killing time until it is time for your audience with the Oracle. Glum.
Yeah.
You head off towards I didn't mention this before, but when you go up to the Temple of Delphi, you would have noticed off to the side a big canvas tent.
Oh, like kind
of like a medic tent.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, sucks to be those people.
You make your way up for your meeting with Penelope, heading towards that exact tent.
Mm-hmm.
You enter, and in this area there are different like cots and bedrolls and people in varying stages of what's the word? They're dying.
Prepare. Oh, the opposite of prepare.
No, they're dying. This is okay. So it's less of like a medical "we're gonna heal you" tent, and more like
Prepare to die.
we are preparing you to cross over. We are
I
trying to
see.
make your last moments as comfortable as possible.
Hospice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hospice.
that was
It's
the idea.
that's the word.
Yes.
It's a hospice. So you enter and you see Penelope, who is a little shorter in stature, freckled face, bright blue eyes, dark hair, which is, neatly kind of braided and pinned up. And she is currently helping give water to one of the patients there.
Cool.
She has not noticed you as you walked in.
All right. I'm going to let her finish before I interrupt, because the last thing I want is her to startle and spill on this person's face.
Fair.
So I wait until she's done.
She finishes, she stands up, kind of like brushes some dust
And
from
can
her.
we say that I just I tried to find a nice wildflower before I came over?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Because then at that point I'd be like, "Hey, Penelope, it's good to see you.
You came!
Yeah, I got your note from your bird. Here, I brought your flower.
Thanks. I wasn't sure if he'd be able to. Oh, thank you.
No problem. I know
I wasn't sure if he'd be
sometimes
able to find you.
Oh no, he did a real good job. He was a little bit insistent, but you get what you get.
Yeah, what you get.
Yeah. So yeah, what can I do? You said something about Mum and the Oracle and a tent.
Yes.
Yeah, this one, right?
And she kind of pulls you over, and as you're make a perception check as she's kind of leading you outside of the tent to have kind of a private conversation.
You're not doing great, bud. So we're switching up. You said perception?
Yes.
21.
Nice. On your way out, you notice that in previous visits to the hospice, you had there's been a very kind of serene, peaceful energy. It's been it's just been calming. They very specifically will use poppy milk and different things like that to kind of numb and ease their physical beings. So that whole kind of vibe. And as you're noticing, or as you're leaving, you're noticing that there seems to be a lot more sound and movement and kind of a discomfort feeling amongst the patients than there typically is.
Oh, right. That's a bit weird.
And she pulls you out and she's like, yeah, the usual methods and practices that your mom set in place, they don't seem to be working.
Oh.
And we don't know what's changed or why. We've tried a bunch of different other things to do. We've been, praying and hoping the gods will give us an answer, but things have not been
Penelope.
great. They've literally been kind of screaming into death sometimes. It's really scary.
All right. Well, I'm sorry that you've had to deal with that, but if you're asking me to try and talk to Mum, I don't like to do that.
Oh no, I'm not. I would never presume.
Oh, okay.
I was just hoping maybe
rude.
you as in your dad's not the god of death or the ruler of the underworld at all, but he has a connection.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe do you have any insights or maybe powers that might help?
Well, if you were wanting people to have a less painful demise, the only way I could help is with me bow. So that's not what you're looking for, I assume. Also,
No.
not signing up for that job.
No, it is
Don't
not.
thanks.
Okay.
I can't really talk to Dad. The only time I really connected with him is when he brought a little lion cub back from the dead. So we don't chat much, but if you like, it never hurts to burn a sacrifice and ask a favor. I mean, as you know, the gods usually ignore you, but, like, I could try.
Okay. Well, that was about as helpful as I thought it might be.
That's helpful.
All right.
Didn't like that.
I'm sorry. It's been stressful with the games going on and trying to get the oracle prepared. We have to make sure she's purified, both mentally and physically, and it's like a whole thing.
Oh. Have you tried those deep breathing exercises I taught you?
Not as much as I should.
I'm just saying, sometimes you take in the problems and then you let them out because you can only got 2 hands. You can only do 2 things at once. And sometimes you need those 2 hands for one thing.
Right.
So, just do what you can and don't overburden yourself with things that you can't really control. And if they scream too loud, if you cut right about here but go a little bit deeper, it slices vocal cords and then they can't scream no more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm-hmm. Death is just another part of life. It comes for all of us.
all right, moving on to the second part of why I asked
There
you.
was more?
Well, yeah, remember I said the oracle had something for you.
Oh, I thought that was like a euphemism.
For what?
I don't know what you
No, like I have to go bring you to see her.
Right now?
Yeah, she has like a thing.
Oh, I thought I didn't wear my oracle pants.
Well, too bad. Here we go.
Aw,
And she
lovely.
will lead you with her flowing purple robes.
Ooh. So at this point, one of the things I realized is the only person who we described, like what they physically look like, is 4-year-old Zaxos.
Fair.
That's also true.
That's
Yeah.
also true.
So, adult Zaxos now, he oddly, this is another reason he's an oddball, wearing pants. Like just
Weird.
pants.
What?
He's got pants on.
Your nuts must be so sweaty.
Well, they are, but sometimes when I'm in combat, I gotta do a lot of ducks and rows, and then if I gotta flip around, my nuts show. So I don't like that. So I put like cloth under both the legs, so my nuts is always hidden from. So he is, grown up, like bushy kind of mountain man beard, not too long. And his curly hair is much longer. It's like down to his shoulders now. And at this point, he like puts it up in like a messy bun. That's him trying to like make himself look nice for the oracle. Basically, if you watch Stormwreck, I have Mike's hair, and I forget if he wore it in a man bun any of the days he was here. I think he might have had his but like Mike when he wears his hair in a bun just looks cool. So like that's what I look like.
You look like Mike.
I look like Mike. He's cool.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, she'll lead you past the guards at the Temple of Delphi, and will take you through one of actually no, she doesn't take you through one of the pillars down to like those lower quarters. She takes you behind the altar.
All right.
And does some like hand magic.
Oh.
And
You're getting really good at that, Penelope.
But a circular, like, kind of spiral opening will appear, and she'll take you down another set of stairs.
Cool. I follow.
It goes pretty deep down. She brings a lantern with her, because you're underground. And she takes you down a narrow hallway, and at the further along you get, the more acrid and the smell of, like, rotting flesh kind of fills your nose.
Mm-hmm.
As you get closer and closer, and eventually she will lead you into an open space, like cavern.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big crack in the floor going across. There is a narrow bridge that goes across, and there you see the seat over the chasm, and upon it sitting the Oracle of Delphi.
Okay, cool. Like, oh, that used to be Mom's chair.
Yeah, like you're like, oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, I remember
this how this works.
Yeah, Mom put me down here a few times.
And the woman sitting there, the young woman sitting there has a veil over her face and is like kind of like in a trance and stuff like that. And when she hears your voice, she pops up and is like,
Hello.
Zaxos, it's so good to have you back.
Oh, thanks. It's an honor to be back in Mom's chair room. That's what we called it when I was a kid, and I forget that I'm an adult now because I don't talk to many people. The Chamber of the Oracle. It's an honor. How are the vapors treating you?
Honestly, could be better. I've had a splitting headache.
Honestly, you gotta hydrate, love. It's a lot of cavern fumes, and you need water.
And she will kind of like carefully get off her seat and make her way over the bridge towards you. And she kind of like and does this, and one of her priestesses comes over and hands her a book about this big.
Okay.
It's a little book.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, sometimes we find, because all of the past oracles are buried here. Like,
Oh!
They're I don't know if you know what happened to your mom after
No!
she died.
I really thought more about the spirit part, going to see Dad, and I didn't really think about...
Oh yeah, she's probably doing great.
Yeah, she better be. That little...
But, you know, gods be gods. And sometimes we'll still kind of like speak or interact through past oracles.
Okay.
I know, it's a lot to take in. Don't worry about it. I'm not asking you to talk to your mom.
Sweet, I'm throwing up in me heart right now.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay. You know, just for me, I don't need the details. You could just tell me the end. Like, skip to the part where you need to tell me the thing you need to tell me.
Okay. So, one of the days while I was going and paying my respects towards past oracles, I found this on top of your mother's tomb. And it has your name on it. So I think she wants you to have it.
Wow, I really, the whole present tense thing is really mucking with me head right now.
Yeah, it gets a little weird here.
You don't say.
And she's
All right,
going
yeah,
to
I guess it's nice to hear from Mum whenever I
reach
can.
out and hold it to you to take.
It's not gonna like bite me, is it?
No, it shouldn't. I'm just kidding.
Stop it, you make
You
know what? It lightened the mood and it was pretty dreary down here. I see why they picked you. I see why Apollo picked you. Alright, thanks for the book.
You're welcome. She turns and kind of starts making her way back up onto her plinth, and Penelope takes you to start leading you out. And I'm not done. And at that moment, everyone feels an earthquake. Like a big kind of out of nowhere earthquake.
Even us outside?
Even you outside.
Okay.
Everyone feels it. And of course a lot of people are like, "Oh, Poseidon! He must be angry."
Oh no, Poseidon, he must be angry.
But you, inside, when that it releases a very dense wave of vapors up and over.
Uh-oh.
And the oracle kind of like goes into like a trance and like you know,
yeah,
a lot of
Oracle
theatrics,
things,
what
yeah.
have yous, and speaks. Ready?
No.
I'll send it to you after.
Thank you. Then yes.
Divine fractures in great numbers have split. Creation's gift believed too widely spread. When forces merge, there goes another bit. Each birth makes worse the gods' deep-seated dread. Descent across the realms creates a rift. Old fears are sparked and tensions rise on high, their powers sourced by crueler schemes and gifts. Should the mortal realm survive, heed my cry. A tale whose tapestries still to be made, threads spun and crossed by fate's own hands they'll bind. With ties connecting them, a triad braid, each strand unique, their part to play must find. Abused, removed, and mocked, find peace. Let not dark night win, nor harmony cease. And with that, it kind of like fades out. And in that moment, all three of you, no matter where you are in Delphi, feel a burning on your inner wrist. And when you check it, there appears a symbol of three threads braided. One dark green, one gold, one red. And we pull away to that to return once more to the Fates room as the middle sister reaches into her basket and pulls three threads out. winds them together, and begins to weave.
Oh,
And that's where we're calling it tonight.
Woo!
We should do those trinkets though. We never.
We should do those trinkets. We never did trinkets. So, did you make the tables?
I did.
Ted made trinket-specific tables to each class, and it's something fun that we like to do because it adds a little whimsy to the game.
74.
So you are a ranger.
I am a ranger.
You have a wait. That's rogue. Never mind. Hang on.
Oh.
Boots made of 7 different species of rat, including a few magical ones. They glow faintly in sewers.
Ah, love that.
That's great for you.
If you would like.
Roll a percentile.
Yes. Do I need the other?
Yeah.
If you got 2, it doesn't matter if they have the zeros, but if you want to borrow, yeah, you good. You good. That's a 4.
4.
4. This is so not for your character, but it's a book full of puns that are categorized by the types of weapons you or an opponent is using.
Yes.
I feel like your Spartan friend gave that to you to try to lighten you up a bit.
45. A ring with a poison reservoir for slipping into drinks and a tiny razor edge for cutting purse strings. Or with a tiny razor edge for cutting purse strings.
Oh, dope.
Nice.
Yeah, well, that works out actually pretty well.
Yeah,
Well.
that's great for you.
There's
All
some,
right.
some are whimsy, some are useful.
Yeah, some are actually useful. Is there anything you need to address at
No.
this point as before I wrap up?
I think we're all set for tonight. We'll be back next week. So same time, same channel.
Same time, same channel. Be sure to check out and follow the Nerd Immersion Plays Instagram, because that is where we put the most up-to-date schedule stuff. Sometimes sickness happens, sometimes we have to cancel last minute, etc. So make sure you follow that for schedule updates.
Yeah. And with that, we'll see you next week.
Bye, Internet!
Later, nerds.